Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, January 7th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Live play-by-play and reactions with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. It's been a very long week. You know, we've had a lot of things happen, obviously, since we've last been able to do an NFL game. Shout out and prayers up to Damar Hamlin. Everything looks like it's starting to get better each and every day. So prayers up for him so we can start to kind of move on and transition into the end of the regular season. Obviously, as we go to the wild card in the playoffs, but knowing that he's getting better every single day. Shout out to him. And we obviously are praying for him every single hour of every single day. And that is big facts. This should be a pretty good game. So we're going to start off with this matchup. And then we got the Titans and the Jags later on tonight. And then we'll also have some action on the NFL side tomorrow. And then we got the Natty, where we got the Georgia Bulldogs and TCU going at it on Monday night. So it's going to be definitely a very busy 3 days. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And we got about 18 minutes until kickoff. And then we're ready to go. Megan in the building, Pokemon in the building, Sarah in the building. What to do? It's been a few days where I feel our rhythm has definitely got out of whack. And anytime we have something emotional, that happens, not only in the United States or something that's kind of close to us, it definitely takes us a couple days to kind of recover and get back on track. We definitely have some numbers to make up for since we're already about a quarter away through the month and we're way behind the schedule. But sometimes you need a couple of those days for the mental health. You need to be able to make sure that you're okay, because obviously, you want to make sure you're going at it full strength. And if you're mentally not there, like I said, it's really hard to be able to give everything you got if you're not mentally there. But at least we know that Damar is doing well. And you know what? I'm ready to get back into the flow of things. Like I said, we, had the Monday night stream, then we took a day off for our mental health. Then we did another stream, took a couple days off, and I'm ready to get back on the grind, and I'm ready to get going. Let's go over some of the photos and everything that I got prepped. It took me about an hour and a half to get prepped, but I'm ready to go. So first, obviously, with the Damar Hamlin, we obviously have these from Monday night. I'm going to keep them on the computer anytime if any new updates come through. I know some people, they're sick of hearing about Damar, but if this game is a part of who you are, I get it. You may not give a shit about him or the Buffalo Bills, but it's more than just the NFL and football. It's a life. And I feel that most of us have a little empathy and sympathy and compassion. And there's others out there that just don't give a crap, which is is a shame. But like I said, if you do love this game and appreciate this game, the last thing that we want is have someone pass away on the field. It wouldn't be a good look. And thank God we had some really great medical staff there in Cincinnati. Unfortunately, Cincinnati is kind of getting screwed with everything, based off the playoff picture and based off the rankings. I honestly do think that Cincinnati would have beaten Buffalo in that matchup. And then the pecking order for first seed, second seed, third seed, home field advantage. Now they're having to do like neutral sites and whatnot. So if anything, I feel Cincinnati's kind of getting the short end of the stick, but they might end up being the best team in the AFC, and it might not even matter. They've already beaten Kansas City once. They beat them twice last year, 3 in a row. I think they would have beaten Buffalo, but we'll never really know because we weren't able to finish the game and it's canceled. But it's going to be very exciting. My top 3 in the pecking order is still the same. Cincinnati Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs, and the Buffalo Bills, not necessarily in that particular order. And then on the flip side, on the NFC, you got the Eagles, you got the Niners, you got the Cowboys. Those are kind of the cream of the crop. But you never know on a team like maybe the Green Bay Packers, if they end up winning against Detroit, Sunday Night Football, maybe they ride that momentum of that Uncle Mo, and maybe a team like Green Bay or Tampa Bay could end up beating one of the top dogs, one of the top 3 or 4, or maybe even matching up with a team like Minnesota, where you don't really know what's going to happen, but that's the thing. And when you get to the playoffs, it's all about being hot and healthy, and anything can happen. All right, let's go over some of the photos that we got today, starting off with the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. I got some new ones here. We got in the white jersey that they're wearing today. You got Max Crosby. You got Patrick the Clone Mahomes. I see you, my dude. All right, we got another Patrick Mahomes action shot. Got him in the white. We're going to make sure we get lots of Patty Mahomes in the building. At running back, we got Isaiah Pacheco, a Tyreek the Freak clone. And a lot of people thought there's no way in hell they're going to be able to find someone that's even close to being Tyreek. And he's not Tyreek, but he shows flashes of Tyreek throughout the season. And then his right-hand man, Jerick McKinnon, I got you. At wide receiver, we got Juju Smith-Schuster, Juju on the beat. MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Nicole Hardman, I see you. We got one of the best duos in the league, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. A lot of headbutting for touchdowns, I assume we are going to get today. The best tight end in the game, Travis Kelce, TK all day. Do you see me? I see you. And we got Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones. Nick Bolton, that linebacker. At kicker, we got Harrison Butker. Punter, Tommy Townsend. One of the best coaches in the league, Andy Reid. One of the best OCs in the league, Eric Bieniemy. And that concludes the Kansas City Chiefs. And let's go to the home team, the Las Vegas Raiders. Jarrett Stidham? Well, obviously we already know that, somebody doesn't like Carr or maybe wants to move on. Carr's not the problem. He's actually one of the best pieces you have on the team with Josh Jacobs and Davante Adams and Max Crosby. But if you feel that you need to go and try to tank, you're going to lose with Carr anyways. So it's kind of a slap in the face. Jarrett Stidham has no business starting on any NFL team ever, but it is what it is. And now he'll be starting for the second week in a row. Jarrett Stidham, what will you do today? I'm not too sure. Hopefully a little bit, but I assume Kansas City will end up winning this game and winning this game big. Josh Jacobs, one of my favorite running backs in the league, except for during fantasy playoff time where you shit the bed and you fuck me over. But you know what? You rode me pretty good throughout all the way to the regular season, the playoff push. Just need better numbers in the playoffs, my guy. Josh Jacobs, fantasy football, killer. But I still love you because you did awesome this year, and you bet on yourself when no one else wanted to bet on you. Josh Jacobs, I always pick you in fantasy as my flex running back. You did a great job this season. Davante Adams, one of the best wide receivers in the game. Usually it's Davante and Tyreek. Now you got guys like Chase and Jay Jetta, Cooper Kupp, and a few others vying for the title. Davante, will you get in the end zone? We will find out. Mac Hollins at wide receiver. Hunter Renfrow feeling good, so fresh and so clean. Same thing with Darren Waller. Darren Waller is back. What will we get from him? And then on defense, we got Max Crosby, one of my favorite players in the league, even though he's on the Raiders. Unlimited motor, and he always brings it. At kicker, one of the best in the league, Daniel Carlson. And at head coach, we got Josh McDaniels. And that concludes your Las Vegas Raiders. Let's go. I'm ready to go. Let's get it. It's been a long week. We got a lot to make up for, and hopefully we end up having a good stream. We get some people to come through, and hopefully we get to a good number. We got tonight's stream later on with the Jags and the Titans. This stream, a stream or two tomorrow, and then we got the Natty, Georgia, and TCU on Monday night. I'm ready to go. Pokemon in the building. What to do? Chiefs Kingdom. Let's fucking go. Let's get it. Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's get it, baby. 99 cents. Hey, every dollar counts. $1 holla. Let's go. 99 to go. Let's get it. I appreciate you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. $1 holla. Bang, bang. Cactus Jack approves. You want some Reggie Wayne? I get you some Reggie Wayne. 99 to go. Let's get that going here. Appreciate you. Matt Payton in the building. One of my favorites. How are you, my brother? Visiting all the way from Hawaii. My bro. And like I said, I hate missing streams because I always feel like I'm getting out of a fucking rhythm. Sometimes it's needed. Sometimes, me and Sarah, we got things going on. Sometimes it's mental health issues. Sometimes you just need a break. But also, too, we need to get back on the grind because, like I said, if this is my full-time job, I can't take too many days off, especially when things are sometimes great and sometimes challenging. And that is big facts. So let's get it. Let's start it off here with some little Reggie Wayne. Let's go. I feel good. Last couple days, I've been really tired. I feel like I've been pulled in many directions, having so many things that I got to do with Paisley, home life, the stream, the mental health. It's sometimes it's a real fucking battle. you're battling with your own self. But, the best cure, is being able to spend time with each other and then enjoy things that we love, like the NFL. And obviously, we got the Natty on Monday, which hopefully should be good. I'm not sure if we're going to get an upset on the Natty, but you never know. I would assume Georgia will find a way. Let's get a couple Reggie Waynes up here for Sarah. Sounds like Sarah's feeling a little bit better. I'm feeling a little bit better. And we're both focused and we're both ready to go. Hopefully this ends up being decent too. It looks like on the Vegas line, Kansas City is favored by 8.5. That's pretty aggressive. But again, it is Jarrett Stidham, not Derek Carr. So that makes a little bit of sense. Let's go. Reggie. I got you. I think I got another good one in here somewhere. Or have you realized you can't move away and you don't know what's going to and the game has never been better. That is hot. Hey, you. Let's go. That's what I like a lot too, because it just got Andrew Luck in it. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm ready, man. Like I said, I hate taking days off. I really do. Like I said, we had a run of about 6 months where we went 6 months, and maybe that was a part of me getting a little bit burnt out, because when you're going 7 days a week for almost 6 months, it can definitely be a grind. You have to stay focused. You have to be able to have time for yourself. And, sometimes you need a couple days, but, after everything happened on Monday night, I feel most of us are ready to, be able to kind of transition with our lives and move on. And it's not like Hamlin died. It's not like Hamlin passed away. It's not like he died on the field. So it's just nice to hear that he's able to breathe on his own without the breathing tube. Every day it's getting a little bit better. He might have to miss next season or partial of next season, but at least that he's alive. And it's not the NFL player of Damar. It's actually the human being of Damar Hamlin. So awesome to be able to see him getting better and better and better. I know it's affected a lot of people. And it's just nice to be able to see the NFL community, as well as the fans and the friends and everyone just kind of backing him. And like I said, it's nice to be able to transition, knowing that hopefully there's no any crazy complications. And it doesn't sound like anything like is going to be on the negative end, or all of a sudden something's going to happen and he's going to pass. So that's really great to see. And he's recovered very, very quickly. He's still not 100%, still got a long ways to go, but just great to hear that he's doing good. And like I said, I'm ready for some NFL action. Bay. Let's get it. Matt Payton's playmakers to watch: Juju Smith-Schuster and Travis Kelce, Devontae Adams, and Hunter Renfrow. No Jarrett Stidham? Come on, Matt. Jarrett Stidham. Can't believe he's fucking starting right now. Yeah, and like I said, I know things will get better. Sometimes we have to be able to find things that suit us best. And obviously with jobs, sometimes things can get a little bit tough. But I know you'll be able to find your way, and that is big facts. What's good, man? Yeah, and like I said, we that would be an emotional game. I think a lot of people, like I said, we're going to start to seeing some more tributes today, obviously later tonight with the Jags, more than likely beating the Titans. And what a great story for the Jags. I know Jameson loves the Titans and all, but I'm excited to see the Jags actually make it, after being the worst team in the NFL for the last 2 seasons. And they have an awesome offense and a pretty good defense. They're just really, really young. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Jags end up winning the division here and there in the next 5 to 6 years. I'm a big Trevor Lawrence fan. I never gave up on him. He just needed better coaching than Urban Meyer. And it's just nice that Dougie P has done a great job with him and got the confidence back. And I do think the Jags are going to win tonight. That's big facts. Let's go, baby. Oh, I know. Well, like I said, I mean, not only for Bills fans or, for people that are related to DeMar, but you got to think that this has affected every single, fan throughout every single franchise. And it's obviously global too, because we've never seen anything like that, like a player, having cardiac arrest, whether it's through like a clavicle or an artery, which we thought maybe initially, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things I feel that, cardiac arrest. We've never seen anyone die on the field, and hopefully we never will. But due to the great lengths and the good training that obviously the medical staff had there in Cincinnati, saved the guy's life, because I guarantee if they didn't work as quickly as they did, he probably would have died on the field or on the cart on the way to the hospital on the ramp. So thank God that he was able to pull through. Prayers do work, and we're ready for this awesome run that we are going to have. And that'll give some extra motivation for the Bills. But the only problem is, as you know, Bills fan, a lot of injuries, and the injuries are stacking up on that defensive side, which is very unfortunate, including DeMar. So hopefully they can, come together, but anyone can come out of the AFC between the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Bengals, and everyone thinking the Bengals are second fiddle. They might be the best team in the AFC. They already beat the Chiefs. I think they were going to beat the Bills in that game. And the Chiefs probably have the most well-rounded team. I'm not saying the Bills and the Chiefs don't have a defense, because sometimes the Cincinnati Bengal defense is suspect as well. But we just have to kind of see how things play out, the matchups. And I feel any of those three teams can make it. And normally, statistics and analytics say if you make it to the Super Bowl, you're not making it back, whether you win or you lose. Especially if you lose a Super Bowl, you're not getting back. This might be the first year since like 03-04 with the Patriots. Even if the Bengals get back 2 years in a row and lose 2 years in a row, we can start putting Joe Burrow in another category, because I think a lot of people, they talk about, Mahomes and Josh Allen, and they don't really put Burrow and Herbert in the same category. And I feel that we need to put those guys in the same category, because those are the four guys that are going to be running the league for many, many years to come. Mahomes, Josh Allen, Burrow, and Herbert. And like I said, I'm very excited to see where everything goes between those three teams. And the NFC, who the hell knows what's going to happen there? We know they got the best offense-defense balance with like the Niners, the Cowboys, and the Eagles, if they can stay healthy. And usually the NFC might be the underdog. The better quarterbacks are in the AFC, but the better overall teams on offense and defense are in the NFC. And that's why the NFC has won the Super Bowl the last 2 years, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, offense and defense, and the Los Angeles Rams, offense and defense. So we'll see. It's going to be very exciting today. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And we're about to get things going here very, very shortly. Let's get it, baby. Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders. And we're going to kick off here in about 3 minutes. You've been waiting for this one. Jarrett Stidham versus Patrick the Clone Mahomes. Let's get it. Oh, man. What a long week it's been. It's kind of rainy, kind of gloomy. Took Paisley for a late walk last night. Stayed up pretty late. But like I said, got a lot of reading in, got some mental health time in. I feel good. And like I said, we got a very, very busy month for the rest of the month out. Got a lot of making up to do, a lot of groundwork to do. Oh, baby. Let's get it, baby. I'm ready. Yeah, that ain't happening. Yeah, Chiefs ain't losing today. Definitely not losing today. And honestly, on the bright side, the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals can all play on the road. So, yeah, home field advantage would be nice. But now with the whole situation with DeMar, there might have to be certain matchups that are on neutral playing fields. And even if that's said, I don't think that – obviously Kansas City loves playing in Kansas City. Buffalo loves playing in Buffalo. Cincinnati loves playing in Cincinnati. But those three teams are elite, and they can play on the road. And I feel the drop-off on every team on the road is pretty significant. But for the elite teams, they can still find ways to make up the ground. So it's not going to be as big of an issue as people think. It will matter, you know what I mean? But at least those three teams, the three best in the AFC, they're pretty good on the road. As far as the rest of the AFC, yeah, they got no chance. So it's really going to come down to those three teams. Miami looked like it could have been maybe the fourth team, maybe that sleeper team if they got hot with like Tua, Tyreek, and Waddle, but they started dropping game after game after game after game. Tua with picks, the defense not really playing very well, and obviously if you look on this right here with the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals, very unfortunate, because obviously we assumed the Chiefs would have been the 1 seed. But with the Bengals and the Bills, if they would have beat the Bills, I assume they would have been the 2, and then maybe Buffalo would have slid to the 3. And I think that's why Cincinnati's pissed, because they thought that, they would be the 2. Because I actually do think that they would have beat Buffalo in that game. Cincinnati might be the most dangerous team right now in the NFL. Getting hot at the right time. And like I said, if Buffalo's defense and the Chiefs' defense can step up, that's what they need, because this is the real deal as we're getting closer and closer to playoff time. All right, we got Daniel Carlson here about to kick off. And here we go. Raiders, Chiefs, NWSF. Let's fucking get it. Let's go, baby. Man, I've been waiting for football for so long. Not having a Thursday night game is hell. Fucking torture, man. Especially when you're used to like Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, and you have that break. 5,048 yards, 67% completion percentage, 40 tutties. I see you, P. I see you, P. Patty Mahomes, shotgun set. Let's go, baby. First down and 10, shotgun set. Hand off to Jerick McKinnon. Nope, it's Pacheco. Let's go. Let's go, Pacheco. Short gain, little baby Tyreek in him. He may not be Tyreek, but he's got a little bit of game and a nice burst. So it shows you, you don't have to have that necessarily bigger, thicker back like a Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You can be different. You can run with a smaller back as long as he sees the hole, and we know Jerick McKinnon can see that hole as well. Second down and 5. Man in motion. Play action fake. Mahomes. Going long, going deep. He's open. Justin Watson. First down, Chiefs. Nice play. Play calling genius is there. Let's go. Nice job, Justin. Let's go, baby. That's a great play call. And there's not very much that you can say between this and this as being one of the best duos in the league. I honestly think it is the best duo in the league. Screen pass, Travis Kelce, and then the Raiders with a gang tackle. I see you, Max Crosby. All right, TK all day. See what Andy's got in his bag. You already know there's going to be all kinds of trickery. You never know where the football is going to go when you play the Kansas City Chiefs. That's what makes them the best team in football, or one of the best in football. Just not knowing where it's going to go, and they have about 10 guys it can go to. Mahomes, play action fake to Pacheco. Floats it deep into the end zone on 2nd and goal. Good decision there. Sometimes you just got to throw it away, baby. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people looking at guys from the Pac-12 as well as this year, next year, and the year after. All right, here we go. 3rd and goal. Trips left. Flag on the play. Fuck, it don't matter if the Raiders got 12, 13, or 14. They're not stopping that. Come on now. Let's go. All right, let's see what Mahomes has got in his bag. I know they got something. They got McKinnon in. Always keep an eye on McKinnon when he gets subbed in, especially on 3rd down. Let's see what they do here. Shotgun set. McKinnon going to the left. Run it all the way. Run. Oh. Touchdown, Chiefs. Your boy with the ESP. What can I say, baby? Hey, it's too easy, man. I had Jerick McKinnon in fantasy. I know these things, okay? You know, you always know that Pacheco is going to be on first, second down, sometimes third down, but when they make the change and the shift, you already know Jerick McKinnon is one of those guys that can run well, but he can catch, and he's very aware of where he needs to be. Just a little drop dip right there to McKinnon. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, ESP all day, every day. Hey, what can you say? When you know football, you know football. Touchdown, Chiefs. Harrison Butker with the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. Nice job. Sometimes you're like, oh, did he run past the line of scrimmage? And that's always the first thing that everyone looks at Patrick Mahomes' feet and where the line of scrimmage is. And sometimes it looks very, very questionable. Like, did he go past that line? But there he did not. Touchdown, Kansas City. It's crazy to think that both of those guys are more valuable, than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But I mean, hopefully Clyde can get back on the field and he can have some type of role. But it shows you they don't necessarily need him to be successful. They got one guy that is built like kind of a Tyreek with speed, right? And then the other guy is very small, but plays bigger than his size. And on top of that, not only can he run you over, he's a good pass catching back. So they really got the pass catching back, the more physical back, even though he's still similar in stature and size to like a Pacheco. It just works for them. And not many teams would be able to have an RB1, RB2 that actually look like RB3s or RB4s because they're so small. But the Chiefs, they know how to be unique. They know how to be different, and they know how to make it work. Nice job. 7-0 Kansas City. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Well, sometimes, as a Bills fan, or a Chiefs fan or a Bengals fan, you want the best teams to win. You know what I mean? Because it'll make them battle tested when they play in that time period. And you got to think, I mean, if the Chiefs are playing almost anybody, they're going to win against almost 99% of the league. They're not going to drop a fucking game to the Raiders, bro. That's like if the Bills were playing the Raiders right now and you had Chiefs and Bengals fans saying, oh, I hope the Raiders beat the Bengals, or I hope the Raiders beat the Bills. It ain't going to happen. You already know that, man. I mean, sometimes when the rivalry games are close, anyone can beat anyone in the regular season. But when it's the end of the season, playoff positioning, and they don't even have Carr playing, I mean, even if with Carr was playing, they would lose, but at least it would be closer. You got Stidham in there. I think Stidham could, throw for, maybe a touchdown pass or two, but I don't think they're going to end up winning the game overall, though. Yeah, McKinnon is the silent MVP for the Chiefs. That's facts. Kansas City 7, Las Vegas Raiders 0. Jerick McKinnon 2-yard pass. TD from Patrick Mahomes. Harrison Butker. PAT is good. All right, Chiefs with the kickoff. All right, touchback. Nah, he ain't going there. Not happening. 0%. There's a better chance of him going to Tampa than going to maybe those two places. I would assume Colts will get CJ Stroud. Hawks have Geno. There's no use for that guy there. But you never know. I mean, the NFL is a crazy place, and you never know, if they have a competition thing and, they want to have different guys in there. But I don't think that they would be interested in Carr for either of those two teams, just because the Colts would rather go for someone new. They've already gone through the, aging quarterback. You know what I mean? They're not going to go through that all over again, even though Carr's younger than a lot of the guys that they've had on their last wheel, besides Carson Wentz, who might be out of the league in a couple of years. So nice pass by Jarrett Stidham there on that first gain. to Fabian Amaro. All right, hand off to Josh Jacobs. Short game.
Steve, we confirmed earlier reports that Josh Jacobs has been dealing with some issues with his family this week. In fact, on Tuesday, his 6-year-old son Braxton noticed that Josh's father Marty was in pain, called 911. Marty then had heart surgery on Wednesday. He's recovering in critical care in Tulsa. Wanted to watch his son Josh out there today, and Josh has pops on his eye black. He said, "I wanted to be out here playing for my pops today."
Foster Moreau, excuse me. Been watching a lot of Fabian stuff too. 2nd down and 6. Shotgun set. Stidham stands in the pocket, scrambling to his right, evading the pressure. George Karlaftis is chasing him down. Nice game by Stidham. I had my Fabian Monroe and Foster Moreau pictures right next to each other. All right, where's my good one here of Foster? There it is. When you got like 5 billion photos all in there, sometimes things get flip-flopped. Where'd it go? There it is. 1st down and 10. Stidham hands off to Josh Jacobs. Nice defense there. Juan Thornhill with the stop. Will the thrill in the building? What to do? Second down and 12. Stidham, play action fake. He's got plenty of time. Oh, avoided the George Karlaftis tackle and still got some good yardage. 10-yard gain from Jarrett Stidham. Third down and 2. Shotgun set for Stidham. Play action fake. Nice pass. Ooh. First down, Raiders. Nice job. I mean, Stidham is very limited on what he can do, but that was a good football throw in the perfect spot where only Davante Adams could get the ball. And obviously, we already know sometimes that the Chiefs secondary is soft and they have some holes there. Sometimes I'd like to see a little bit better performances from the secondary on the Chiefs as well as the front end, for sack lunches and pressures. Once they can improve those positions and get a little bit more veteran leadership or get better talent, I think that the defense overall is what's kind of holding the Chiefs back, but they're still good enough to win the Super Bowl. Same thing with the Bills and the Bengals, as well as the Philadelphia Eagles. Going deep. Oh, incomplete. Jump ball, 1-on-2. L'Jarius Sneed is going down with an injury. Davante Adams looks like he gets up, though, and goes to the sideline. Davante, so I'll go up and get it, mofo. Give it to me. Oh, he should have had that. What happened to my hands? I mean, Davante 9 times out of 10 gets that. Ooh, at the high point, too. I mean, still, when you're up at your high point and you're coming down, sometimes, even if you're one of the most athletically gifted NFL players, sometimes you do miss a football from time to time. No surprise. It's not like Adams is a shitty player. Renfro with the screen pass. Short game. I see you, Hunter. Had a fantastic season last year. Injury-riddled season this year for Hunter Renfro and Darren Waller. And then hopefully they can have a healthy season going on to next year. And it'll be interesting to see who the quarterback is for the Raiders. because I guarantee it's not going to be Carr, and it won't be Stidham at quarterback either, not as a starter. Josh McDaniels, 6-10 record. If they could have just been able to win games in the second half or the fourth quarter, they'd be 10-6, not 6-10. 3rd down and 6. But again, when you have 0 O-line and 0 defense, what the fuck do you expect? You know what I mean? It takes time to build a contender. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for Chris Jones sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Nice play. Guess who? Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones. Okay. Good defense there. All right, Carlson, who's money, 32 for 35 on the season, 50. Oh, going deep, get it, oh, and it's good. Nice job, Daniel. Lots of opportunities, for points for the Raiders, and sometimes they do have to settle for field goals. Nice job. 7-3, Chiefs. All right, Carlson, nice kick, buddy. At least we got some action and some points early and often, which, we don't want to have any of those games. And normally when the Chiefs are on, they're going to put up points and it's going to be very exciting. So.
Show your eyes things that are not taxes. Show your brain things that are not taxes. See if no taxes makes you laugh or cry. Come determine your tax and don't do your taxes.
Raiders 3, Chiefs 7. Let's go, baby. Kansas City 7, Las Vegas 3. Daniel Carlson, 54-yard field goal is good. Let's go. Yeah, and a defense. Like I said, I guarantee if they actually had a good offensive line and a good defense, they easily could be a team that can get to 9, 10, 11 wins, even in a tough division with Denver and the Chargers and the Chiefs. The Chiefs, as long as they don't have any significant injuries to Mahomes or Kelsey, getting to 10 wins is pretty easy. You know what I mean? But as far as everyone else, Denver has got a long ways to go. Raiders got a long ways to go. The Chargers actually have the talent, but then they have shitty coaching, shitty play calling, and then they have the injury bug. So it really doesn't come down to the Chargers don't have talent. They're just the team that's probably the most cursed in the NFL. And I just hope one day they can get an elite coach like a Sean Payton to help Herbert, or they can get, some kind of like magical powers to like not get hurt for like 1 year. So that way we can see the Chargers make a deep run, because I think that they're very fun to watch, even if you hate, watching the Chargers or you don't like Herbert. But I feel most of the league, even if you're not a Charger fan, Chargers are pretty fun to watch when Keenan Allen's out there, and you got Mike Williams out there. You got Austin Eckler out there. You got Herbert, Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr. I mean, they got pieces everywhere. It's just a matter of they can't stay fucking healthy. And if you can't stay healthy and you got shitty coaching and play calling, you can only go so far. So it'll only limit you to maybe 8, 9 wins. Hopefully you can get to like 10. But a lot of times that's why the Chargers, it's not that Herbert sucks. It's really the rest of the offensive line and the defense, the play calling and the coaching sucks, and they have injuries. I'm just hoping that, he'll be able to make a little bit of noise in his career. Otherwise, maybe he'll come to Tampa Bay. Shit, I'll take Herbert on Tampa in the future if he wants to leave. You just got to be able to have a place that's got good stability, good coaching. All right, here we go. Raiders about to kick off. Raiders. All right, here we go. Kickoff. It's in the end zone. Touchback.
Yeah, he moves like an infant, just like I was 35 plus years ago.
And this was earlier this afternoon on an opening drive. Sub the defense up, shovel it out across.
Mahomes. Bobbled pass Kelsey, short game.
Welcome to the football game. Mahomes told us this week that he and Kelsey actually had that conversation. You know what? We're next up. We're first up. We're the first snap of NFL football since Monday night.
It's two things. Like Patrick talking about his own experience of watching it, and he said he had to get into the room right, and then
Second down and 3. Shotgun set. Ronald Jones. Holy shit. You actually got a Ronald Jones sighting? What the hell? Wow. Third down and 1. Man in motion. Oh, don't go backwards, Kadarius, you idiot. Uh-oh. Looks like he got the first down, though. That's not good. Yeah. Short game. It's weird that they have Rojo in there. It's like, I'm very confused. I mean, if they want to go with Rojo, that's fine, but interesting. Second down and 9. Mahomes under center, play action fake. Go. Noah Gray. First down, Chiefs. Nice play. Nice job by Noah Gray. Shotgun set. Mahomes. Going long, going deep. Got a man. Oh, PI. That's got to be PI. No PI? Wow. Looked like he was there early. Second down and 10. Shotgun set. Handoff. Pacheco. Woo! Let's go. Love his energy. Watching Pacheco is nice. It gives you that Tyreek kind of vibe. Not going to be ever as explosive and exactly like a Tyreek, but if you had to come up with a Tyreek 2.0, 3.0, something not Tyreek but close or closest to Tyreek, it definitely is Pacheco. Third down and 2. Shotgun set. Kelsey in motion. Oh, pass dropped. Good defense by the Raiders. Fourth down.
He's expecting that ball to be on the left shoulder to Kelsey. Kelsey expected a little bit on the inside to the right. Ironically, Jerron Harmon trying to get through that little rough situation. In essence, accidentally, it kind of helped out on the play. He held out Nate Hunt by getting the ball on his best at the time. Tommy Townsend puts it in the air.
Tommy with the punt. Fair caught.
4-yard line. 30
America.
7-3, Kansas City. Raiders' second possession.
Pizzle in the building. What do you do? How are you, brother? What's good?
Nice work. Never heard you scream like that before.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, well, not only the injury, but then with the fumbling problems and losing a little bit of confidence. I mean, I don't know if the Chief fans want to admit it or not, but that was a mistake pick. They should have not. I mean, I know Joe Burrow looked great and that LSU championship team, and they had Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, but the one guy that didn't really pan out of those four, it was Clyde. It was more of like kind of like a gimmick running back, for what they were doing at LSU, but they definitely should have went a different route. But at least they got Pacheco and McKinnon now. So it's not like a lost cause where they don't have anybody. But the Chiefs don't necessarily, I feel, need Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I mean, hopefully he ends up getting healthy and then he can work his way back into the, rotation. But even with that being said, I'm not really sure. He never really was an RB1 to me anyways. He was more of an RB2 trying to be an RB1. And then obviously with the fumbling problems and the injuries, now, I mean, he's already, further and further on the depth chart. I'm not really sure where we're going to find Clyde in the future. Hopefully it'll be on the field, but I just don't think it's a good fit with the Chiefs. But we'll see. They can always make anybody, a star if they can give them the right opportunities in the right situation. 7-3 Chiefs. Next up, we got Jared Stidham. Yeah, like I said, started off, in the year with a lot of optimism, right? And then started off good and then bad and then good and then bad. It's like you go through a win streak and then a losing streak, a win streak and a losing streak. But McDaniel, I feel, shouldn't be even considered to be like let go with these like rumors or fired. He's the best thing that has happened to your guys' franchise in a long time. And I feel that if you just keep building around them, and even if you have to move off Tua and go to like Lamar or try to get someone else, Brady or someone, even if it's just temporary, for a couple years, obviously Lamar, it would be for long-term, Brady would be short-term, but I obviously know that Raiders, Dolphins, Niners, Raiders, Dolphins will be the ones that are going to be really looking for Tom Brady, but also Lamar, if he chooses to leave and can stay healthy, that could be something there in Miami as well. But like I said, I like the direction of Miami, even though they've had some ups and some downs. Like when it's good, it's been really good with Waddle, Tyreek, and Tua. But when it's been bad, it's been really fucking bad. But at least you can see the light at the end of the tunnel that, there was a chance that you guys could have made the playoffs this year as a wild card, and you're not that far behind. So it's just like a little bit more consistency out of the defense, the O-line, and either Tua or not Tua, and having that guy, and then you guys will be just fine. You guys are fun to watch. So you want Minshew on Miami? I think you guys deserve better. I mean, if Minshew can't win with Philadelphia and that supporting cast, we know Minshew's one of the better backups. Nice catch. First down, Raiders. I just feel that, you're gonna have to get somebody better. You guys deserve someone better. But I guess it just depends on what you guys want to pay. Yeah, I wasn't really too surprised with Miami's burst because McDaniel was the OC for the Niners. So I already knew how smart that guy was. And, Salah's done a pretty good job for the Jets on the defensive coordinator. So it shows you the Niners know how to be able to build a team. You know what I mean? That's why they're always very, very good, very, very disciplined. And even if they have a shit quarterback, if it's Jimmy or Brock Purdy, even though those guys are not shit quarterbacks, but to some people they are, that might be their weakest position on the team. But even with that being said, they're always a running team, and they're always going to be a defensive team first. Stidham runs into his own player, and it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. And the Dolphins have talent on defense. It's not like they don't. They got a lot of pieces, just a little bit more depth, a little bit more structure, and then figuring out if, Tua's the guy or not. I would assume they'll move on from Tua, just with the injuries. I mean, but at least you saw, Mike McDaniel was able to bring out the best in Tua while he had the time before like the big hits and the concussions. People thought that Tua was garbage, and he actually made Tua look like a top 10 quarterback for a good chunk of the year. Second down and 18. Shotgun set for Stidham. Stidham going long, going deep. Picked. Nice interception by the Chiefs. Juan Thornhill with the pick. Nice job, Juan. Yes, I agree. New defensive coordinator. Yes, a little bit more stability there. What would you say, Pizzle? If Lamar came, would you be excited? I mean, obviously you need Lamar to be healthy, but that's going to be a better version than Tua. You know, like I said, Lamar can run, Lamar can throw, but Lamar never has really had a number one receiver ever. He's had Mark Andrews as a number one tight end, but to have two number ones, as long as the offensive line could hold and he could stay healthy, I definitely think Lamar's perception of Lamar would go upwards. Obviously he could end up being a top 10 quarterback with those two guys. But again, it's a team effort. It's got to be more than just Lamar and those two guys. You got to be able to have a better offensive line, better defense, and keep, filling those holes that need to be filled, especially on the defensive side. Yeah. Well, you guys already are one of the fastest, but yeah, I totally agree. And like I said, it takes time to build something. Remember, when you fell in love with the Dolphins with Dan Marino and Mark Duper, you got these guys, and that to have a championship caliber team, especially with Miami, let's be honest, it's been a long time coming. But now it's starting to show okay, they're starting to get the right pieces at the right time, and it all starts at the top, right? And there has been some problems at the top when you had Flores and the owner and all the weird stuff that was a collusion and some other shit that was going on, right? But I think McDaniel, like I said, if you guys give him a shot, keep building around him, I think that would be a great coach for you guys to have for the next 5 to 10 years. And I honestly think that you guys could be contending for the division in a few years. And you could definitely make the playoffs next year, but it all depends on what you do, obviously, at the end of this year and obviously in the draft, free agency, and then deciding if you want to have Tua or if you want to move on. And there's going to be a lot of running back movement too. There's going to be about 12 or 13 really good quality running backs that are going to be on the move. Some will re-sign, some will go to other locations. But I mean, just imagine if you could end up getting another stud running back, there, if you're not happy with the core that you have now, someone a little bit better could make the difference. That's big facts.
Moment right here is when you got to hit 2nd and 17. They play the coverage perfectly. Throw your check down to your tailback, which is what they want you to do, and get the third down.
First down and 10. Mahomes. Nice pass. Juju Smith-Schuster. First down, Chiefs. Move the chains. Nice play from Mahomes to Juju.
Easy chunk throws, a big difference in this offense this year. Multiple tight ends, quarterback in the center, and then attacking the middle of the field where the coverage players are the weakest.
Red zone opportunity for Kansas City. First down and 10, already a 7-3 lead.
Kadarius Toney. Okay, I see you, Kadarius.
Second level as far as being able to make this guy makes this offense, Steve, about as good and as dangerous as they could possibly be, and he's only getting started in this season.
End of the first quarter. Kansas City Chiefs 7, Las Vegas Raiders 3. Let's go, baby.
What about for existing? At AT&T, we give everyone best deals on every smartphone. Get up to $1,000 off our most popular smartphones with eligible trade-in.
you're afraid to offend, you can't be honest. That's Thomas Paine, a leader in the American Revolution. CarShield, America's
Cyberpunk in the building. What to do, brother?
spells out what's protected.
Nice to see a goat in the room. What's good?
Vehicle is out of warranty.
Especially when we're sitting at $1 after an hour. Sometimes I wonder, man, why do I do this? I mean, I do this full time, but come on, man. Oh, my God. How are you doing, brother? Hopefully things are going well for you. 7-3 Chiefs. No need for any concern for the Chiefs losing this game. You know, just need to clean a few mistakes up. And it looks like they'll be able to make a nice heavy push. How are you, Cyber?
Call CarShield before it's too late.
Protect yourself from the unprecedented rise in cost for parts and repairs. Call now to save money with your price lock guarantees. Call 800
Cyber, you got the day off or are you working right now?
800-430-9719. 800-430-9719.
Had enough. No, arthritis.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Like I said, we have the whole DeMar situation. Prayers up for him getting better. I know, like I said, it just sucks when I, have certain days that, you need to take days off for your mental health. But then also I need to be able to get into a groove. And like I said, I feel that we'll be able to get back into the groove, and having a couple days off is good, but also it's not good because, you want to make sure that you're starting to be able to gain some rhythm, especially as we're getting into this season. But we got NASCAR and MLB just around the corner as well, and that's good. So once the NFL ends and college football and the Natty ends on Monday with TCU and Georgia, and then we'll be transitioning to other things as well. But prayers up for DeMar, and it sounds like things are getting much better. Still got a long recovery ahead of him, but great to see that he's improving. Zach in the building. What to do? You're at the bar and it's packed. Lone Raider fan getting trolled. All right, baby. Let's go. First down and goal. Hands off to Rojo. Touchdown, Chiefs. Wow. Andy's so tricky, you know what I mean? Like, you never know who's going to get the football, and maybe just to give a little confidence for someone like Rojo, towards the end of the season. And then you never know with the way the Kansas City, runs with their running backs and wide receivers and tight ends. No one knows where the fucking football is going to end up. Extra point is up, and it's good. And I feel that they're the only team in the NFL that you can say that about, where, like you usually have your favorites on, okay, we're going to go to Tyreek, we're going to go to Kelsey. But since Tyreek has left, I mean, it might be Noah Gray, it might be Justin Watson. Hell, it might be fucking Rojo. I mean, I don't think anyone expected that. And that's why the Chiefs play calling might be the best in the league. It's very elite because you just never know. Like you assume you start to figure them out. And as soon as you think you figured them out, okay, they're going to go, Kelsey, and then maybe Juju, or then, okay, Juju, Jerick McKinnon, Pacheco, and you start to gain a little bit of rhythm, and then all of a sudden they do something way out of the ordinary, out of the box, and start going to Rojo, and then your whole theory of how to be able to stop them or figure them out just gets thrown out of the fucking window. Then they throw in a little Noah Gray, Kadarius Toney, Justin Watson, and then you're like, what the fuck do we do? There's nothing you do. 14-3, Chiefs. Nice job. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're way behind the 8 ball right now, with a few days off. We took the day off after the incident and then a couple days off. So, yeah, I have to make up a lot of ground. So I will be doing this game and then no rest, no break, and then we'll be doing the Jags and the Titans, and we'll be rooting for the Jags to make the playoffs. So... And I know everyone likes that comment besides maybe Jameson Meza because he's a Titan fan and tighten up. But I think that most people would rather see the Jags in the playoffs with Trevor Lawrence and the Titans at this point. So, yeah, so I'll be doing 2 games today, 1 or 2 games tomorrow, and then we'll be doing the Natty on we'll be doing the Natty on Monday night with TCU as well as Georgia. 14-3 Chiefs. First down and 10. Halfback toss to Josh Jacobs, bouncing it to the outside. Good closing speed by the Chiefs defense. 99 cents, $1 holla, $2. Let's get to a hundo so O-Dog doesn't have to be homeless and eat fingernails. Let's go, baby. $2 holla. O-Dog doesn't want to be homeless now. Let's go. Bang, bang. Boom, boom. Bang, bang. Let's go. Let's get it. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to see for photos, and I got you. 14-3. Cheers. All right, shotgun set. Second down and 11 for Stidham. Jarrett steps up. Nice pass. Ooh, baby. Darren Waller. First down. Raiders. That was a hell of a pass. My goodness. Ooh, look at that cheerleader. Hello. Darren Waller. First down. Raiders. I didn't know Jarrett could make that throw. Okay. Okay. Nice play. Stidham, play action fake. Steps up in the pocket. Run, baby, run. There you go. Nice job. First down. Raiders. Jarrett Stidham is actually a little bit faster than he looks. We got a little Travis Kelce. A little Travis Kelce. Little Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce. And I'll get you some more during the commercial break. Cyberpunk, thank you, man. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? For times when I'm grinding and, you know, we're sitting at nothing or $1 or $2 and it's fucking miserable and depressing, I can always count on someone to step up. And it's usually one of the GOATs. And thank you so much, man, because like I said, if it wasn't for people like you, I wouldn't be able to do this job full time. Thank you so much, Cyber. And you ended up making the stream successful just even with your single donation because you are the fucking man. I appreciate you. Let's go, baby. Let me know what you want to see for photos. I know you're at the bar watching the game. You want some Bo. You want some vintage Chiefs players. $100 dono. Boom. Let's go. Sitting at $1 and $1. Now we're at $102. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you. That's what we need, you know. And like I said, I know not everyone can afford a big dono like that, but obviously anyone can afford $1. And that's facts. Stidham, appreciate you. Every dollar counts. And I appreciate Sarah for always grinding it out and always doing big things. Cyberpunk, appreciate you very, very much. Bang, bang, boom, boom, bang, bang. Cactus Jack approves. $100 dono. Let's get it. Need that. Especially when we've had a few days with some other things going on. It's been challenging. Thank you, man. Bo, as always, I appreciate you. Yeah, and like I said, you mean more to the channel than you, and more to me than you know. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. Let's go. Yes, we'll do some Bo for sure. Third down and 2. Stidham. Nice pass. Okay. Stidham to Devontae Adams. First down, Raiders. Jarrett Stidham actually playing pretty good. I mean, I don't want to say that he's better than Carr, but he's actually playing better with his legs and his arm than I ever imagined. So I don't know what kind of fucking pep talk Josh McDaniels gave him, or maybe he's just trying to take advantage of this opportunity because he knows, hey, I'm fucking Jarrett Stidham. I'm not that good. You know what I mean? But, I mean, shit, you do got great weapons, right? You got Waller. You got Renfro. You got Josh Jacobs. You got pieces everywhere. They're playmakers. Just can't fumble or throw a pick six. Jacobs, short game. My guy. Appreciate you, Cyber. Very, very much. Second down and 3. 14-3 Chiefs. Shotgun set. Stidham. Hands off to Jacobs, just short of the first down marker.
Chiefs have won 9 of the last 10 meetings. These two teams, Kansas City's 30 or more in 6 straight.
Third down and 1. Handoff. Stutter step by Jacobs, which could have prevented him from getting the first down, but no problem. A little stutter. No problem. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. First down, Raiders. Move the chains. There's a nice new Travis Kelce here for you. Nice crispy 4K HD one for you, Sarah. Appreciate you. Yeah, and we'll see where Carr ends up. Maybe he'll end up in Tampa Bay or somewhere else. I'm not really sure where he'll end up, but he won't be playing for the Raiders most likely next season. And then we'll get you some more Bo Jackson here in just a second. Shotgun set for Stidham. He said, hike it, fucker. Shotgun set. Stidham. Ooh, Amir Abdullah. First down, Raiders. All right, Amir. I see you, brother. First and goal. Handoff. Jacobs. Short game. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, they need a lot of help with the Raiders. O-line, defense. I mean, I'm not sure if Josh McDaniels is going to actually make it through by the time he actually gets his players a better O-line and a better defense. He'll probably get fired prior to that happening. I don't really know how much patience they're going to have with McDaniels, especially if they would have just played better football in the second half or the fourth quarter, primarily, they'd be 10-6 right now. They blew a lot of games this year where they had big leads, not just 3-point leads, but like 7-point leads, 10-point leads, 14-point leads, 13-point leads, 17-point leads. Like, you just can't give up leads like that. But also, if you don't have an O-line and a defense, what can you do? At some point, the offense is going to stall and the defense isn't going to be able to stop anyone. And then they're always like shocked and surprised. Oh, how the hell did we blow this game? Well, do you have an O-line? Nope. Do you have a D-line? Nope. Do you have a defense? Nope. Do you have good coaching? Nope. Do you have good play calling? Nope. And there you go. 14-3. Chiefs are the worst at defense here in the red zone, but see if they can step up here and hold to a field goal. I don't know. Maybe the Raiders would go for it at this point. I mean, already 14-3. I mean, what else do they have to play for besides trying to ruin the Chiefs season here? Fade route. Oh, incomplete. Intended receiver for Jarrett Stidham was Darren Waller. Love me some Darren Waller. Oh, they should. He should be fired. Should get rid of Leftwich and Bowles. Like, Bowles is great for defensive coordinator, but again, some guys just can't cut it as a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator at head coach. Some of them are just better at just being the guy that, calls the plays, but doesn't have to be the face of the franchise besides the quarterback and the leader. Some guys know how to talk to people and be able to help people mentally as a life coach and being that guy. And other guys can't be that counselor. All they can do is just call plays, and it shows. Stidham on 4th and goal. Pass incomplete. Any flags? Nope. Intended receiver was Devontae Adams. Josh McDaniels not pleased, but maybe he should have just went for the field goal. Oh, he could have had it too. What happened to my hands? All right, it's time for some Bo Jackson. Appreciate that, man. I want to make sure that you're doing okay, but I appreciate that. $1.79. Every little helps. It is. It really does. You know, a lot of people don't understand that. We're like, well, no one else is donating, so why the hell should I donate? Or, you know, maybe I can't afford this. But, I mean, everyone that works, you know, you decide where you want to be able to, you know, support. And like I said, even as little as $1, it really does matter, especially for a channel like mine that doesn't have 100 or 1,000 people in the room on every stream. You know, some streams are going to be great. Some streams are going to be underwhelming, but every dollar counts, just like Will the Thrill said. It really does. It really does. Cyber loves it. I bet everyone in the bar going crazy there. All right, let's get some Bo Jackson up here for you, man. I appreciate you. You know, one thing has always been consistent. You know, we've had some goats go through some trials and tribulations, but Cyber has always been consistent, and that's a big part of me being able to stay, you know, doing this job full time, and that's facts. All right, let's do some bows here. Let's do some bows, baby.
To feel all the postseason feels for football. It's okay to do this, or even that.
I don't know what that is.
And it's definitely okay to get wild on Wild Card Monday. So if you want to leap, chase, and cheese, it's all okay. Why? Because this is playoff season. The NFL season finale continues tonight at 8:15 p.m. Eastern on ABC and ESPN. Stream games live on your mobile phone with NFL Plus.
After tomorrow, that's in the regular season.
Oh, baby.
Super wild card weekend. How about 12 teams, 6 games, 3 days, one epic long weekend. The road Super Bowl 57 starts here. And the Monday night wild card game on January 16th at 8 Eastern, ABC, ESPN.
Appreciate you, Cyber. Appreciate you, Will. Appreciate you, Sarah.
Between the lines on ESPN Plus, ESPN Deportes, and Spanish language broadcast. All of it. All for you, NFL fans watching everywhere. Playoffs are coming. Kicking off the final weekend of the NFL's regular season. Here's Mahomes.
All right, here, Mahomes, hands off.
10 hands it off. Isaiah Pacheco.
Pacheco with the short gain.
The Raiders, 14-play, 74-yard drive. Takes nearly 9 minutes off the clock again. The benefit is Mahomes can have the football for 9 minutes. But you got to get some points there.
And then efficiency, better, you just can't live with it against this football team. And against a defense that quite honestly has had its struggles, although it is playing better.
Second down and 7. Shotgun set for Mahomes. Little dump down. Oh, good tackle. Blake Bell with the short gain.
Raider legend Charles Woodson sitting there with Raider owner Mark Davis. Mark was rather hospitable, offering up his services of Allegiant Stadium. Side AFC Championship game be necessary. The NFL said we'd be happy to help you walk away with the game here.
All right, here we go. Third down and 4. Audible called by Mahomes. Good call right there by Pat. Shotgun set. They're only bringing 4. Wide open. Pass underthrown for MVS. Chiefs with the punt. But there's a flag down. See what this is here. If it's a hold on the O-line or maybe something cheap on the Raiders to contend the drive. Extend the drive, so. Oh, roughing the passer.
They know exactly what their priorities are. But you see here, Max Crosby outside, runs the hump. If they may have got him for the left arm, maybe getting up a little high on that instead. Max Crosby is going to counter this defense.
That's the first roughing the passer penalty against the Raiders all season.
Wow. Mahomes, nice catch by Kelsey. First down, Chiefs. Move the chains.
You can do different things if you're Eric's enemy and Andy Reid and try to make sure that you still allow Travis to have options to win. You move them, you formation them, you function them. And Patrick's right. You start there.
1,320 yards. No surprise. Shotgun set. Hand off to Pacheco. Short game. Flag on the play. Offsides on the defense. Uh-oh, Max Crosby. Hopefully he's not seeing if he starts to spiral or not. He's, like I said, he's pretty disciplined, even though we know Raiders and Cowboys are usually two of the most undisciplined teams on the defensive side. But since Dan Quinn has come over there, he's cleaned a lot of those mistakes up, that they used to have. But you got to think, if you're going to have one player on the defense, it's definitely Max Crosby. I mean, that guy could play on any team in the NFL. He's fucking great. MVS, first down, Chiefs. Oh, I totally agree. I think he's great. Like I said, I know he's on the Raiders, and a lot of times people are just like, fuck that guy, just because it's like maybe a team that they don't like or whatever. But if you just look at the talent and the greatness, I mean, who else is really good on the team? They have Chandler Jones, but sometimes, he gets banged up and hurt, and he might not be the same player as he was a few years ago. But Crosby's in his prime, and I really feel that what makes him great, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Jared Allen. He just always has that unlimited motor, and he never quits. He's always, trying to pick up the rest of the team. And let's be honest, the Raiders have a shitty-ass defense. So, I mean, he can try to motivate all he wants, but they just need to have better talent there. And they really haven't been the same since they traded away Khalil Mack. That's where the last time the defense was actually kind of respectable, and they actually had some guys out there. And obviously Khalil Mack was one of the best at that time. And now he's kind of on the back end of his career. Second down and 5, but I love me some Max Crosby. I would take him in Tampa in a heartbeat. And I think any team would take him, in a heartbeat. He's great. Oh, Juju. Oh, that's not Juju. Kadarius Toney. Okay, Kadarius, I see you. Hit him with the skirt. Hit him with the skirt. Skirt, skirt. First down, Kansas City. I know a lot of us were scratching our heads on Kadarius Toney. What about defensive line and secondary help, things like that? But then you started seeing some of the other injuries with McCole Hardman and everyone else, and you're like, okay, well, you need depth. Mahomes is going to need people to go to. So, all right, let's go back to some more Bo for my boy. Appreciate you. Big $100 dono from our boy Cyberpunk, my boy. In times of need and when times look bleak and low, you can always count on a Cyber to make things right.
Always on the line. The NFL relies on Cisco. To learn more, visit celebrity.com. Call 1-800-CELEBRITY or contact your travel advisor.
Whoa, what are you doing here? Think of me as like your hairy godfather. I'm here to help you get your hair back. You need a little more grass on the playing field. Let's go.
Hey, Jeremy, hey, Finn.
Yeah, they treat you like family. EXT, Extreme Hair Therapy. It regrows your hair and it slows down future hair loss.
And X-Trans Plus, a non-surgical option that provides you with natural-looking hair.
Look at that, the glory days. We could recreate that look. And you want to know the best part? Feeling more
And if anyone's got Twitter, do me a solid and like and retweet the stream on Twitter, the live feed. Like I said, I am one of the only channels that actually has that available, for Twitter. So it can help us, gain, looky-loos, people that are spying. But you never know. Eventually, it could lead to someone subbing, actually coming from the Twitter stream to the YouTube channel so they can actually comment instead of just spying and watching. And then it could end up leading to someone that possibly donates in the future, subs, or maybe shares the channel as well. So any little help that we can get will be great, especially since we had a couple videos blocked, like the Orange Bowl and then the other bowl game that we ended up doing as well. When we ended up having about 10,000 views on 2 videos, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just no video was shown, but even the audio portion of it, they decided to block the whole video, 2 of them, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I assume they'll probably do that for the Georgia TCU, but it is what it is. I'm still going to do the stream. So.
It's a great tackle. We're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the best screen team in football. Great recognition and man coverage. Extra speed on the field to continue to go down.
Say a pull about with that play. Looking at a USC.
All right, shotgun set. Second down and 12. Mahomes, pressure. Rolling to his right. Scrambles just for a gain of a couple. Ooh, Bo and the boss. Let's go. I love looking at pictures of old school Bo too, just like Cyberpunk, just because that's our childhood right there. So, I mean, if you grew up in the 80s, I mean, Bo knows. And it's still to this day, just like Ken Griffey Jr., that's still that passion and love that I still have for certain players that I grew up with. It still hasn't gone away one bit. Third down and 10. Appreciate that, Megan. Every person that does that, it definitely helps. Third and 10, 14-3 Chiefs. Mahomes steps up in the pocket, avoids the sack lunch, throw it. Oh, he's so lucky. Is that Crosby chasing him down? When Crosby starts getting his wheels going, he's much faster than people think. Max Crosby double teamed, still the first one to get to Mahomes. It's just a lack of effort from the talent that they have, on the Raiders. I mean, if they had a bunch of other guys, or at least 3 or 4 other Max Crosby type of guys, like they might not be as good as Max Crosby, but if they put up like at least effort like him, that's unexcusable if you're a Raiders fan. Raiders, right? The guy gets fucking double teamed on the line, and then the first guy to run the quarterback down, Mahomes, is him. That's unbelievable. But that's the type of effort that you get from a Max Crosby. You don't get that from any of the other players on the defense. When Chandler Jones is healthy, you'll get it. But 2 guys out of 11 isn't going to fucking cut it. And that's why you're 6-10 and you're not fucking 10-6. That's facts. Yeah, well, to be realistic, that's not going to happen because, no one pushes me. And, like I said, I'm one of the ones that gets slept on. And like I said, if I don't get promoted and get myself out there now, if I can ever get promoted from YouTube more than 2 times in a year where I can have like 100 people in the room, if I get 100 to 150 people in the room, even if it's only for like an hour or 2, you're going to get subs that way. But, some people will keep their sub there. Some people will take it away. But the only way you actually get to grow, is if you're able to, get in front of more people. And if you're not able to get in front of more people, it's really hard to be able to get to that next step because obviously they promote the bigger channels and they don't really promote, channels like mine where I'm on the cusp of blowing up, because I'm not at like 20 subs or 200 subs. I'm right on the cusp of 20,000, but I might as well be at 200 or 2,000 because that's how they treat me. Like, like I'm nothing. So I just got to keep grinding. I mean, this is my 11th year. You would think that they'd be helping me out at some point. But, 11th year recording, my 7th year on YouTube. I ain't going nowhere. And hopefully 2023, we can get to a decent number. So. challenging, man. You know, it's not as easy as people think. I don't think anyone really thinks it's easy, but there's a lot of frustration. You know what I mean? It's just want to be treated fairly. You know, I just want to be able to have a fair opportunity to grow, but it seems like that's fucking impossible. And, you know, even just to get a couple hundred subs in a year, you think would be easy. It's not easy, especially when, you know, you feel that you're, you know, they're like axing you out. You know what I mean? They're, you know, it's like everyone's getting the invite to the VIP lounge except for your boy. So, you know, I definitely have to find ways to be able to do other things like MLB, NASCAR, college football, NBA, wrestling, to be able to find ways to be able to grow. And even with those things being done, it's challenging. Mahomes? But I know my day will come at some point. You know, they can't hate on me for fucking my whole life or my whole YouTube career. At some point, they have to be able to show some love. Nice short gain to Juju Smith-Schuster.
So, you know, sort of jokingly, it's going to get 1 billion likes, and actually told T. Higgins actually just like that post from the bar. He's sort of been wrongly wrapped up in that.
Look, I mean, it was a football play. We really did feel for it. People made reference to the fact that we need to look out for T. Higgins as well, because he was something who was taken very, very hard. And look, it's just great to see that all the parties.
I mean, it'd be nice if I could end up getting to, you know, 30,000, but, you know, the bottom line is it's so difficult with everything going on. Little trick play, going back to Kadarius Toney, slips through, touchdown Chiefs. But we do have a penalty there. Let's see what the penalty is. That was a hell of a play call. I mean, let's just try to get to 20 fucking thousand, let alone 30. Because if we can't even get a couple hundred subs in a year, you know what I mean? What does that tell you? You know what I mean? Holding on the Chiefs. I mean, it's kind of fucking ridiculous that, you know, all I need is like less than 200. It shouldn't take, you know, years to get to that number. Look at this little do-si-do, looky-loo. Chiefs are so tricky. I mean, based on how things have gone, to get 10,000 subs, I'd be fucking 90 years old. That's how long it would take, based on how things have gone in the last couple years. You know, I'd be like 90. I'm 40 right now. Wish I was joking. 14-3, Kansas City. Handoff, man in motion, Kadarius Toney. They said, fuck it, give it back to him. He said, fuck it, I'll score again. Touchdown, Chiefs. Man, he was determined, wasn't he? He said, fuck it, you want to take that touchdown away? No problem, I'll just get a fucking another one. Nice job. Kansas City. Mike in the building, what to do? At least I'm honest about it. I'm not unrealistic. You know what I mean? It's just, I wish it was easy to, you know, gain hundreds of subs or thousands of subs, but, you know, the algorithm only promotes the big channels. You know what I mean? Like, there'll be times where you look on YouTube and I'll be live and they have old videos of me or other YouTubers ahead of people that are actually live streaming. Now, how is that beneficial to anybody? You know, if someone's actually trying to find people that are doing the live play-by-play and reactions, so you already got your couple people at the top, and then here's NWSF like 33rd on the list when I'm live, and a bunch of other videos that don't even fucking matter. Extra point is up, and it's good. 21-3, Kansas City. Nice job. And when I, you know, say, you know, being like 20th or 30th, I'm not exaggerating, because I always look to see where I am in the pregame when I end up putting the video, and I'll type it in to see where I am on the pecking order. And then once the games start, you know, you start to see all these older like uploads and live streams that have nothing to do with what the game is going on now. But I guess that's how it is. You know, they love you or they hate you. You know, and it just sucks, because the more people that you get, the more money that they can make, especially if they're going to take, you know, 30, 35, 40%. You know, you would think, okay, well, if we push this channel to get them over 20,000 to 25 to 30, that means that, you know, not only is that individual going to have an opportunity to make more money, but we will make more money. So I don't really understand where the logic is. They're just trying to freeze me out, but, you know, I got to keep going and keep grinding. So how you doing, Mike? Nice job by Kadarius Toney. Very motivated to get into the end zone.
And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right.
Oh, here's a cool one. I found a really cool one here for you, Cyber. So we got Bo and the Boz, and then I got another cool one here. I got Dion and Bo back in the day. Oh, let's go. Classic. No, nothing in there. Cyberpunk did his generous, obviously dono for us to make sure that we don't have a horrible stream. Thank God. And like I said, we'll get closer and closer to the next goal, and then we'll be grinding it out, and we'll be doing the Jags and the Titans after this as well. Yeah, me too. Especially when you have a lot of the highlights and things that they're always going to be linked together. 21-3 Chiefs. No surprise. I think we all thought this was probably going to happen. Let's go, Bo. Yeah, it's the most creative offense, not only in college but the NFL, hands down. That's why you wonder why certain teams exceed and succeed and go further than people think. And you got to think the O-line still needs work for the Chiefs. The defense is definitely holding them back. Maybe they need to get a better defensive coordinator than Spags. They just need better pass rushers up front. I do like Nick Bolton and Willie Gay, but they need other people besides Chris Jones to be more of an impact guy. Secondary needs upgraded as well. It hasn't really been the same since Honey Badger left, even though Honey Badger hasn't really done a whole lot for the Saints. It seems like maybe he feels like unmotivated. I don't know if he's just ready to retire or if he's just getting a little bit older. But the Chiefs definitely need, they need pieces. They have a lot of youth. They have a youth movement, but I just feel that based on potential, they haven't lived up to their names as far as the pieces in the secondary. First down, Raiders. Devontae Adams from Stidham. I think they could do much, much better. But again, they got to be able to build guys through the draft and free agency. But you can always upgrade the corner and safety position and try to get better guys up front at the D tackle, nose tackle, and maybe another edge rusher. I know George Karlaftis is a rookie and whatnot, and they got other rookies in there trying to do their thing like McDuffie. But it just shows you, if you have great play calling, obviously it helps when you have Travis Kelce and you have Patrick Mahomes. So you have the best 1-2 combo, right, at quarterback and at tight end. That helps, right? So that even when you suck in certain games, you'll be able to fight back. And then you got the best 1-2 combo with coach and play caller. And I don't think it's even close. So even if the O-line kind of is suspect at times and the defense is suspect at times, they're 13-3. So they can hide some of their weaknesses when you have number one, and pieces like this and pieces like this. And that's why they are going to be very dangerous. They just have to be able to figure out how to be able to beat Buffalo and how to beat Cincinnati when they're down. When a team is running the football effectively, right, and playing good defense, can you come back? And obviously we've seen Kansas City's play calling isn't the same or as creative when they're down. When they're ahead, they can do all these trick plays or when the game is tied. But as soon as they get down by more than 7, when it's like a 10-point lead, you start to see them get a little frazzled and they start to get a little uneasy. And they start, messing up on plays. You start seeing like Mixon and Pirine running the ball down their throat, and they start getting a little worried. You can tell. And then the defense can't stop, obviously that other team with like Burrow. So as long as they don't get into that situation that much in the postseason, the Chiefs could definitely be in the Super Bowl and win it all. But we will have to wait and see. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a George Karlaftis sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. About time, George. We've been waiting for you. I've been talking about I need to see more effort, and then I guess there it is. You just got to call the guys out, and then they'll eventually listen. He got the message. Good job, George.
Who really gets good push on the right side, but it really is about Karlaftis. But look, Chris Jones, look at the hand use. Alex Bars has not had an answer for that hand lift that he's thrown against him all game long. When you're talking about Karlaftis, they just love this guy's motor. They love how hard he works.
Let's go. And he's a rookie too. So you already know he's going to get better and better. And if, like I said, if they can have him on one side and Chris Jones on the other, that's a start. We just need to see more consistency. But again, he is a rookie. So sometimes it does take 2 or 3 years to find yourself. Stidham. Nice pass right in the same spot. Soft coverage by the Chiefs. First down, Raiders. Jarrett Stidham to Devontae Adams. Hands to the face. What's new? Offensive line stinks. But at least they don't have Leatherwood, on the team anymore. I think Tampa could be a destination once Brady leaves. Brady could go to Miami. Brady could go to the Raiders. Brady could go to maybe the Niners. But I think Carr, there will be a market for Carr. And I honestly think Carr, I would take him. I need somebody after Brady. And I don't think Carr is the problem. I would take him on Tampa. So. Second down and 27. That's easy. Shotgun set. Stidham. Get rid of it. Holding on the ball way too long. Incomplete.
Coverage underneath, the pass rush knows the ball is going to get thrown, and it's a really good job by everybody taking a deep ball, second level.
Yeah, Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, you're starting to see guys that got drafted. You can see a little bit of the light at the end of the tunnel. But remember how everyone thought Kenny Pickett was going to be so good? He wasn't really good this year. You know what I mean? Obviously, the offensive line stinks and defense had some injuries. But when you're starting to look, even with Malik, and Pickett, and Desmond Ridder, they don't look like they're going to be anywhere near the previous football class. Scoop, get up. Oh, good turnover there. George Karlaftis with the fumble recovery. Nice job. Flag on the play. Illegal shift on the offensive line. Yeah, but you got to think, why would Carr want to go to the Colts when I don't think there's anything there for him when they can get CJ Stroud, and then that would actually give them something to look forward to. Even if you're not going to be good right away, the Colts have always gone that route for a veteran guy. They need to draft a guy like they did with Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning. Fuck getting these guys that are just going from one team to the next, or they're at the back end of their careers. I would be shocked 100% if Carr would go to a team like Indy. I don't think Indy is a fit whatsoever. Maybe something I don't know, Finley, but I don't think that's an option. I think most Colts fans would agree CJ Stroud is going to be the guy that they're going to end up picking in the draft if they pick 5. So, you know what I mean? You already got Bryce Young and, you have those pieces there, but I think CJ Stroud, that will put butts in the seats. Even if you lose and things are tough in the beginning for the first couple years, you're going to see growth. And, it's going to be nice to be able to have a quarterback where you can go buy the jersey, root for the guy. And then if Jonathan Taylor is 100%, offensive line with Quentin Nelson's back to what it is, Darius Shaq Leonard is healthy, the Colts could actually make a little bit of a run. And even with a rookie quarterback, could possibly get to around 10 wins. So we'll see. I mean, there's going to be a lot of rumors, you know what I mean? But sometimes you got to dig past the fugazi stuff and think about really where the best fits are for the player and the chemistry and the offense as well. Just because there's an opening doesn't mean a guy's going to go. Field goal's up, and it's good. 44-yard attempt by Harrison Butker. The butt kicker delivers again. 24-3, Chiefs. Raiders fans in disbelief. What did you think was going to happen? You're going to come in here at home and win by 10 or 20? Fuck out of here.
fiber includes your Wi-Fi, and I've decided, well,
See, I disagree with that too. I don't think they're going to go for a quarterback in the draft. Gino's good enough. He's already proved himself. Why the fuck would you want to try to go and replace Gino after what he did this year? Gino hasn't been bad at all. It'd be better to have Gino than to have Carr there. You know what I mean? They need to be able to work on the defensive side of the ball and the O-line. So, just because you hear rumors on ESPN, NFL Network, or wherever you're getting your information from, it is possible that Carr lands in a place like, Indianapolis or Seattle, but I highly doubt it. If you actually look at their roster, he's not a fit on either team. I mean, obviously he could make plays with Lockett and DK, and he can make plays, with Pittman and a lot of the other guys that they have there. I just don't see that. I see that, each team has a different direction, and they're not going to be necessarily looking at a quarterback. At least I don't think so. And I don't think Carr either. So, but you never know. Oh, they're more than just a quarterback away. They have a lot of holes. They need wide receivers. They need tight ends. I even said that last year. They need more defensive help. They're not just a couple players away. Not even close.
You've got special coaching, and then you've got special playmakers in Kansas City. Right now,
Kansas City 24, Las Vegas 3. Butker 44-yard field goal attempt is good. You just got to think what's going to put butts in the seats. And do you really think that bringing Carr into Indianapolis is going to get the fans excited? No, because like I said, they already know that they have these guys that can maybe get them close to 10 wins with like Phillip Rivers and the Carson Wentz. And obviously we've seen Matt Ryan is much worse than any guy that they brought in. So at some point you got to think, okay, when were we most successful? Okay, we got Peyton Manning, we got Andrew Luck. And we know that Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck are on a whole nother scale. But if you get C.J. Stroud, even if he struggles, that's going to be something the fans are going to get behind, especially if they can find a way to get like C.J. Stroud and Marvin Harrison Jr. on the same team. I doubt that's going to happen because both guys are going to go pretty high. But you never know, and you just want to make sure that you're building something for the future. And the Colts are due. The Colts probably should have drafted a quarterback 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, and we wouldn't be going through this like veteran guy at the end of his career besides Carson Wentz. But Carson Wentz's career looks like it's almost over. So he might be a backup very shortly, and then eventually he'll probably be out of the league because I don't think anyone's going to want to deal with his shit. So that's facts. But you never know. Everyone, like I said, it all depends on the owner, what they think of the player. And like I said, I don't think like Carr, Tannehill, Cousins, a lot of times those guys get shit on a lot because they're not consistent and they're not top 10. Sometimes they play really great, but again, they play horrible sometimes too, and sometimes average ball. But again, not every quarterback is going to be a top 10 guy on your favorite team. Sometimes you got to stick with a guy that's 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. And I know that doesn't sound ideal, but think about it. There's 32 quarterbacks in the league that start. How many are actually good? Once you get past like the middle of the road, right? Once you start getting past in the middle, it starts getting kind of shitty towards that back end, based off the quarterbacks. So I think sometimes people, try to act like those guys aren't that good. But if you compare it to some of these other teams, if you ended up having a Cousins or a Carr or a Tannehill, that type, and if they're healthy and they have a good coach and a good supporting cast, those three guys can help a team get to 10 wins. Yeah, you might not be able to get to 14. You might not be able to get to a fucking Super Bowl with those guys, but maybe you can make at least a playoff run. And sometimes that's the first step on being able to get better, moving forward. You can't get a guy that, not everyone's going to have a fucking Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. All right, let's get some more pictures up here. Try to see if I can find some more Bo Jackson. You got anything specific that you want to see, Will? I can get you a photo or two as well.
Jacksonville trying to win the division for the first time since 2017, which is also the last time they were in the playoffs. It is a beautiful night for football here. In fact, everything seems pretty right in Jacksonville because it's been a rough 5 years. But you kind of feel the tide turning. Tennessee came in on a 6-game losing streak. The Jags have won 4 straight. Trevor Lawrence has played great.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Well, their long-haired, don't-care quarterback isn't just trying to win with arm talent. He's controlling that arm talent. His completion percentage is up 7 points from last year. He's doubled his touchdowns and cut his interceptions in half. What we see is him grow in his confidence.
Oh, there's always going to be tight ends in the draft, but I'm not really sure at this point if there's anyone that's like a Kelsey. You know, Kelsey, Kittle, Waller, you know, Mark Andrews. I mean, certain guys are special, but you got to think, I mean, with the guys you have, you know what, Gray, and you got these other guys that, you know, could step up. Pretty much you guys can plug and play, you know, any tight end. And that guy could end up getting, you know, 500 to 900 yards, maybe 4 or 5 touchdowns if it's like an average tight end. But obviously, if you get a guy that, you know, ends up being a top 10 tight end, then you can end up getting over 1,000 to 1,500 yards and end up getting 10 to 20 touchdowns. But I'm not really sure if there's anyone on the Travis Kelce level. I mean, obviously we know Travis Kelce, Gronk, Shannon Sharp, and a lot of these guys that are, you know, considered the elite, the best of the best of the best. I'm not sure, but I'll be doing some research after all the bowl games are over and then going into the NFL draft and the combine and everything. And we'll be looking, but yeah, I don't think there's anyone that's as good as Travis Kelce or close to that. I mean, you never know though. Sometimes you can get guys that have a basketball background that can surprise the hell out of you, you know, and do a little bit better than people anticipate. Not necessarily Tony Gonzalez, but maybe, you know, a guy like Antonio Gates. I'm not really sure if people thought that he was going to be as good as he was, but it also helps when you have a guy like Phillip Rivers throwing to you too. So, yeah, Iowa usually is a tight end university, but and then does Notre Dame got a tight end as well? I know there's a couple teams that have some tight ends that are halfway decent, but.
And these two teams will be here Monday night because of the play of their quarterback. Start with Max Duggan. And the biggest concern if I were a Georgia fan is this: his legs. You know, he's carried the ball 15 times a game, the last 2 times that they have been out. He can spin it. He can create, but you better account for him in the run game if you're Georgia. And it's Stetson Bennett. You know, you and I called Georgia's games last year. A lot of his fans, a lot of his own coaches didn't think he could do it. Climbs him out and wins the championship. Comes back this year, it's a totally different deal.
Ready for this? Should be a good one. Hopefully it's not a blowout by Georgia. Hopefully we end up getting a game that's actually like worth watching. That's not like a 20-point blowout. Now, if TCU wins, that'll be great for college football because then it'll show that someone can actually win besides a powerhouse SEC team. That'll give hope to like Ohio State and Michigan and other teams that they can actually hang with the big boys, you know, like Bama and Georgia, you know, when their recruiting is on the top level. Obviously, we saw Clemson with Dabo for a couple years with Trevor Lawrence and a few players prior to that. But I mean, it's and LSU with Burrow and Jay Jetta and Jamar Chase and obviously Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But usually when you have the other teams, it's only for like a year or two and then they disappear and they have to rebuild that recruiting all over again. But, you know, Alabama and Georgia, it's like year in, year out, year in, year out. But even with Georgia, this is only the second year. You know, it took them a long time to even get close to being on Alabama's level. And it took like 15 guys going to the NFL draft, right? That 1 year when they won the Natty last year. And they barely beat Alabama. It's not like they smoked Bama by 20. I mean, it took everything that they got in a pick six, like at the end, for them to barely win. And that was with 15, 20 players going to the draft. So shows you how big the talent is. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, we'll see. Maybe TCU can, I mean, Duggan is going to have to play the game of his life. And obviously we saw Georgia is beatable. You know, it's not like they're unbeatable. You know, things could have went differently for, you know, some of those other teams, Michigan and Ohio State, but it is what it is. But hopefully it ends up being a good game. But once this game ends, then we go to the NFL playoffs, and then we'll be transitioning into NASCAR, MLB, and it'll be exciting. Let me tell you. See if we can throw up a couple more bows here for Cyber. 21-3 Chiefs. Appreciate your generosity with your big $100 dono, saving us like you normally do. Appreciate you. If anyone else has any photos they want to see before we get to the third quarter, type it in and we'll get you. I mean, Travis Kelce's just don't, they don't. I mean, obviously with the play calling, when you end up having, someone that you can count on to give you the most opportunities and get you the football in the best possible time. I mean, they make anyone look good. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they got guys like Justin Watson, you got Kadarius Toney, who already had talent at Florida. Just wasn't really a good fit there, with the Giants. But I mean, Noah Gray, I mean, Noah Gray is almost like a Kelce clone. He's not as good as Kelce. He kind of looks like Kelce. He plays like Kelce. It's just, the talent level is nowhere near the same. But, if you gave Noah Gray a chance to be able to shine and you gave him, 10 targets a game, I assume that he would be able to put up a little bit more than half of what Kelce would put up. It's not going to be Travis Kelce, but if you gave Noah Gray an opportunity to grow and maybe have another tight end compete with him, you never know. You might be able to get a little bit more out of a Noah Gray because you got guys like this helping you out, this guy giving you confidence, and then the number one thing is you got a guy like this throwing the ball to you, and he's going to give you the best angles, and he's going to be able to help you the most out of any quarterback. That's facts. Yeah, I imagine they will. I imagine at this point, 21-3, they'll start running the football in the third or fourth quarter to bleed the clock because that's what good teams do. Good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. So I assume that, like good teams, when they have a lead, you're told to run the football and bleed the clock. So you're still going to get some passing in the third quarter. But once the fourth quarter hits, I assume that we'll get a lot of running and they'll try to bleed that clock out. All right, no problem, brother. Yeah, I feel that they will. I don't know if their Chiefs are going to get to 40 on the point total, or 45 or anything like that. I'm not sure if you're going to match the same kind of production in the first half because the game will slow down a little bit, but I would assume the Raiders will get into the end zone at least once.
This first half has really got a character. The Raiders do not get blown out. They've double-digit loss one time all season. And for Kansas City, it's the biggest lead they've had at halftime all season. Yeah, I think it's really
that's crazy.
They're mastering situational football.
Biggest lead they've had all season.
Raiders not mastering it. Chiefs right now, 3 for 3 in the red zone, 3 for 4 on third down. Haven't turned the football over. Those are all the things that every coach directly points to as far as leading the victory.
Everything's looked easy for Kansas City, both on offense and defense. Patrick's 14-17 for 175 yards. He completed his last 9 passes.
All right, Chiefs are about to kick off. I always take care of my people. All right, here we go. Touchback.
Steve, we did see Jarrett Stidham seem to be a little bit hurt right before the half, but he is going to come out here and play. Josh McDaniels telling me he's
24-3. Chiefs are up.
way that they make mistakes in this game. So you can't be a team as talented and as good as the Chiefs if you're making mistakes, you're turning the ball over, you're getting penalties. He said that has to be limited here. That was his message at halftime. And one thing that Andy Reid
Oh, I got my Snapple in the freezer. I think it's almost like slushy time. Squishy, slushy time for your boy. First down and 10. Stidham. Carl Aft is bringing pressure. Run, baby, run. There you go. Nice slide. Short gain.
Jarrett Stidham was going to be all right. He pointed to that play. I was like, so it was the blood in the teeth, huh? That was what made you go, oh, this guy's going to be okay.
Stidham. Play action fake. Little dump down to Jacobs. Short gain. Oh, God. So good. Kiwi strawberry. I tried getting some mango madness, but I couldn't reach back. Sometimes, like when they have it on the top shelf, I'm afraid that if I stand on the second or third shelf and I lean, the whole thing is just going to collapse. For me, just trying to grab some fucking Snapples from the back. But they had this great deal where it was like buy one, get one free. Are you kidding me? And they normally cost like $2 a piece or more. I was like, yeah. And so usually I load up whenever I see something like that, where I'll just buy a couple, and then sometimes I'll end up buying like 10, especially if I get a deal like that. It's like free product. Stidham. Nice athleticism from Stidham. A little bit more athletic than you first would have maybe thought. Still not a fantastic quarterback by any means, but I mean, obviously this assures you a definite loss for sure. Oh, and I got a good deal at the dispensary today too. I go in there, right? And I'm like, okay, I pulled out $20 when I was at Safeway, with the $20 cash back. So I figure I'll get one box, of gummies. I'll be good to go. And I'll get a couple dollars back in change, like maybe $5 back in change, maybe tip $1. They had a 30% off sale. And I ended up getting 2 boxes of 100 milligram black cherry. And it was $19 for 2, which is insane. Like 20 pieces for like $19. Incredible. I'm always trying to be able to find the deals, baby. Dobbs, Titans, Jags. And like I said, it's nice because, like I said, every year I will always root for Jacksonville, Detroit, and the Jets. And that'll never change in my life. I'm always going to root for Detroit to try to win the division, Jacksonville to get to the playoffs, and the Jets to make a little bit of noise. I just sick and tired of seeing the same elite teams be great and seeing the same shitty teams be shitty. It's just nice to see a little bit of change once in a while, but also it has to do with coaching, the depth on the roster, who the quarterback is, and if they actually have a vision on getting out of the gutter, and obviously you're starting to see that with the Jets. Obviously they got to move away from Zach Wilson. I'm not sure if Mike White is a long-term answer, but Mike White is better. And sometimes you just got to take your losses. But I think that if they stick with Zach, that's a mistake. The Lions could end up winning in Lambeau and ruin the Packers' chances. I mean, Goff has played very good since week 10, one of the best quarterbacks since week 10. If you look at his numbers, he hasn't even thrown a pick since week 10, I believe. He's got like 15 touchdowns and like no picks. So Renfro, first down, Raiders. And then the Jags, I love me some Trevor Lawrence. Like I said, he's never really been the problem. They're just really young. And to be the worst team in the NFL 2 years in a row, get Dougie P, and you might actually be able to make the playoffs. And when at one point you were like 2-7 or 3-7, and Dougie P said, hey, week 18, we're going to have a chance to be able to win the division and come back. And Trevor probably didn't really believe it at the time. But now we're on the cusp of the Jags actually winning the AFC South after being the worst team in football the last 2 years. It's a hell of a story. Stidham, short game. And it's like, if the Titans get healthy and they figure out their quarterback situation and the Colts have CJ Stroud, if that's the route that they go, it's not going to be as easy for the Jags to continue that success. But, you can see like they got a lot of pieces there. The defense still needs a lot of work, right? But Dougie P has got that offense. If you actually look at the running backs, the wide receivers, Trevor, they have actually a prolific offense. It's actually fun to watch. It wasn't that way a year ago or 2 years ago. And we haven't even really talked about Trayvon Walker. You should have went Aiden Hutchinson. They fucked up there. But Trayvon Walker, when healthy, still is pretty good. But, Aiden's probably happy that he's, on the Lions rather than the Jags, but still. Jacobs with a short game. But Jags are fun to watch. Like I said, sometimes, it doesn't have to be the most popular team, but I really enjoy watching the Jets, the Jags, and the Lions. I don't know if I'm the only one, but, it's from where they were and what they put on the field this year. Yeah, it's been fucking ugly for those 3 teams at times, but also they've upset some teams where you were like, whoa, like this is like a year early or 2 years early. So you're starting to see the vision, and it also starts from the head coach. Whether you're biting kneecaps and breaking legs, with Dan Campbell, or if you're going to be just traditional like Dougie P, follow me, believe in what I got, and I promise I'll get you there. Or, if you're like Saleh, You just got to figure out what quarterback is going to lead the team. Stuffed on the line on 2nd and 2. Yeah, Trevor's great, though. You have to realize that guy never lost any games and started to lose confidence. Never lost in Pop Warner, didn't lose in high school, barely lost in college, and then went to the NFL, and he's not used to losing. So I know he lost himself a little bit mentally. There we go. First down, Raiders. And that touchdown that the Raiders said that I was going to get, we're going to get one in the second half. They're not going to win, but it's just the even flow of the game. You can just tell at some point Chiefs players will start to get tired. Raiders players will play a little bit harder, knowing that they're going to lose, but they don't want to get blown out, just for pride's sake, to at least keep it somewhat interesting. And you do got some good weapons out there. It's not like you don't have anybody. You got Jacobs, you got Adams, you got Renfro, you got Waller, you got pieces. If you actually compare those pieces compared to the other NFL top-tier teams, I mean, you have one of the best running backs, one of the best wide receivers, one of the best tight ends, right? And then you got an up-and-coming wide receiver that is very underrated. I mean, all you got to do is be able to build that O-line and defense, and you got something. But how long is that going to take? That's the question. Yeah, both teams will bleed the clock and run the football. 2nd down and 10. But if the Raiders, want to punch it into the end zone, they can't go away from not giving Jacobs the ball. They have to be able to keep giving him chances. Pass incomplete. Stidham looking a little hobbled. Well, you got to also understand Trevor Lawrence was like an Andrew Luck. This was a high-profile quarterback. This wasn't just like an average number 1 pick. This is like a guy that, could be a top 10, top 12 quarterback one day. That's why, if you watched him in college, he put Clemson on the map with Dabo. Compared to some of the SEC teams, that's not easy to do, to be able to put yourself on the map when you're not in the SEC or the Big Ten. When you're an ACC team, you better be really fucking good, and they were. Flag on the play on the Raiders. For me, I watch a lot of football. I'm more than just the NFL. I'm watching high school. I'm watching college. There's the only way that you're going to be knowledgeable about your favorite team and all the teams is you got to read and you got to watch film. If you're not willing to read and watch film, it's really hard to gain a grasp on how talented the guys are or where they're going to be or how good they're going to be if you're not following their whole career. If you're only watching them from what you see on TV, it's only going to give you a glimpse on, how good they possibly could be projection-wise in the future. Renfro with the diving catch on 3rd and 15, a very short gain there. That was stupid. I believe it's Chase Garbers as the backup. You're like, who? Because obviously, Carr used to be first string, but now they have him designated, I think, as like 3rd or not playing. But I'm pretty sure it's Chase Garbers. And how do I know that? Because I'm fucking a psychopath with football information. Carlson with the kick, and it's good. Not what they wanted, but sometimes you got to take what the defense gives you. You already are going to lose, so another drive stalled. Easy for you to say, Dan Orlovsky. You had to step out of bounds. You weren't even a good quarterback in the NFL. I love it when you get these guys that try to give all this inside information and that they're so knowledgeable. You were so fucking good. Now how come you couldn't make it in the NFL? Because the NFL is cutthroat and not a lot of guys can make it. But it's funny how everyone turns into a fucking expert when they're done playing and they love to give you all this information. Come on, Dan, be better. 24-6. Chiefs. That's my favorite thing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, they just see what they see on TV. But again, I feel like, you know, compared to me on every other YouTuber that's out there, I'm defensive oriented as well as O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling, X's and O's, stats, analytics. That's me. You know what I mean? As far as everyone else, I feel that it's more offensive oriented, you know, following the big teams, the big players, you know, but you got to be able to look into more than just the quarterback, running back, wide receivers, and tight ends, or maybe a stud linebacker or pass rusher. You know, it's 11 on 11. Special teams matters. Defense matters. O-line, D-line matters. Coaching matters. Play calling matters. And that's why I like to go through those X's and O's. You know, you got to go a little bit deeper than everyone else. Otherwise, you're going to be like everyone else. And that's facts. 24-6, Chiefs. This will be exciting. I just wish my videos didn't get blocked. And it's crazy, too, because I've never had my videos blocked altogether. And when I didn't even show anything, it was just like the audio, which is just kind of crazy to me. It's like, how are you going to block my video altogether? Like, altogether, you're going to block it? For what? For no reason at all? And I wanted to be able to use those as like on the front page, you know, of the channel. So that way I can have different videos that, you know, we can promote and show like what kind of views that we got. And it's just kind of a shame, you know, when you have videos like that don't even get to be seen, because I don't expect anybody to watch the video of like the Orange Bowl or, you know, the playoff, you know, and watch like a replay of the live stream, but just to see the numbers that, hey, you know, we can get numbers more than 100 people to 1,000 in a stream. Sometimes we can hit, you know, 2,000, 5,000, 8,000, you know, 10,000, even if I'm not getting a whole lot of help, you know, if I get recommended, you know, because like I think on the one, we ended up having 109 people in the room and we hit 7,100 plus views on the Orange Bowl with Tennessee and Clemson. And then the next day we hit 2,400, obviously, with the Ohio State matchup against Georgia. I mean, I want to have those in the library, but apparently, they want to hate on your boy even when I'm trying to grow. Sad. Because that would be good for me to have those to show, you know. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, you know what I mean, but it's God, the announcing and the TV personalities for the NFL are the fucking worst. Like, you know, you get guys on the NBA side that are cringy and horrible, even though Shaq and Barkley and Kenny Smith with the TNT show, that's pretty good. That's the show sometimes is better than the actual NBA games, right? MLB, they have some shows where some guys are annoying, but then they also have some guys like, you know, Harold Reynolds and some other guys on MLB Network where it's actually really good and entertaining and you learn something, you know? But on the NFL side, I feel that's the only professional sport where they don't have the best individuals covering the NFL, whether it's, you know, articles, videos, blogs, vlogs, you know, YouTube channel shows, Twitch. I don't know, passing complete, almost picked by the Raiders, but it's like the only high-end sport where you have not the best people covering the sport. Like, there's a lot of people that are on social media that do a much better job than a lot of these guys that are doing podcasts or TV. It's just sad. It's like they have no idea on how to connect to fans, to connect to people. And like I said, just because you're a former player doesn't mean people are going to want to watch you or listen to you. Like, a lot of times that's a negative because they think that they're qualified because they played, but that doesn't mean that you know how to talk or you know the sport. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Max Crosby. Yum, 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 yum. Raiders. One good player on the defense. Might as well just have Max Crosby out there and everyone else can just sit on the bench. Tommy Townsend back to punt.
I'm surprised that the Chiefs set really their right guard, center, left guard, and left tackle all the way to the left and singled up Wiley versus Max Crosby. If you're going to go anywhere, I would say go towards their best pass rusher.
Nothing on the Cash App side, but hopefully we'll get a few more before the game ends, and then we'll go into the Jags and the Titans. Renfro.
59-yard punt by Tommy Townsend. 11.5 sacks for Max Crosby coming into this game, a career high. Just picking up right where he left off last week and all season long.
Great fucking player. Max Crosby. The one thing that the Raiders fans can be actually happy about, I mean, obviously they're happy they have Davante Adams, but also, too, if Carr leaves, right, Adams came to the team because of Carr. You know what I mean? Because they're boys in college, you know, at Fresno State. So if that ends up happening, what happens to Davante and his happiness overall? Because we already know Aaron Rodgers more than likely is going to be out of the league and, you know, maybe next year or the year after. Eventually, you know, we know Aaron is going to be gone, right? And it's going to be Jordan Love or someone else, right? So I think that Davante was going to leave anyways and move on from Aaron. You know what I mean? I think he got kind of fed up and just didn't want to play with him anymore. Wanted to, even if he knew the Raiders were going to be worse, right? He wanted to be able to go and hang out with his boy. But now if McDaniels is pushing, you know, Carr out, what kind of effort and what kind of player are you going to get in the future, you know, for a guy like Davante Adams, who normally is a, you know, used to be number 1 or number 2 wide receiver with him and Tyreek. Now probably number 3 or number 4 with like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and a healthy Cooper Kupp. If we get that, they're all going to be in the mix in the top 5. But I would say since Cooper Kupp is injured, you know, you got Davante, you got Tyreek, you got Jay Jetta, you got Jamar Chase. Those are probably the best 4 receivers in the league. And there's other guys that are very close, like Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, Diggs. You know, there's other guys that are right on the cusp. But it makes you kind of think, like, what's going to happen now with Davante's happiness, especially if Carr, you know, ends up leaving. Because we already know Davante's going to be kind of stuck there for a little bit. So especially if Carr leaves, because I don't think he thought that Carr would, you know, be kind of pushed out. So I imagine Davante internally is not very happy. 24-6 Chiefs. All the sack lunches. I think one thing for Chiefs fans too, Frank Clark needs to be fucking better. Frank Clark is like non-existent. You know what I mean? Like he had a couple good, you know, runs there with Seattle and then did good. And they went to the Chiefs, helped them win the Super Bowl. But I feel like the effort, it's like you never even hear about Frank Clark. Like you hear about Frank Clark like once a game. That's unexcusable for a player that's getting that much money. You know what I mean? Like for a player that's supposed to be like the 2nd or 3rd best behind Chris Jones, I need to see more effort. You know, the rookie, George Karlaftis, you know, and Chris Jones, and obviously one guy's more like inside, one guy's more outside. But still, I think Frank Clark has not been as good as what the money has been paid for him. Stidham, almost a first down. See, downgraded to out. I talk about Frank Clark, and then they talk about him on the show. Isn't that weird how that happens? It's that ESP, man. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like all of a sudden I'll just think of something, I'll say it, and then boom. And then 10 seconds later, a minute later, 2 minutes later, then they talk about that individual when they haven't talked about him the whole game. I don't know what it is, man. I did watch a brand new Ancient Aliens last night, though, so I feel connected. And if you're looking for a good show to watch, that is it. 2nd down and 3. Josh Jacobs with the short game. Of course, it'll happen year 3. And usually any quarterback that gets their top guy year 3 and they get a top 10 receiver, that's when you're going to see him take a big step. But also Fields can't throw. We have to be able to keep that in mind. He's a dual threat. But, you know, even with a star number 1 receiver, he's limited. You know, you're not really going to see Justin Fields throw for 300, 400, 500 yards. You know, usually it's under 300. And usually he'll max out at like 2 touchdown passes and maybe run for 1 or 2. But he's not normally a guy that can throw for 3 or 4 or 5. That's not his role. And he doesn't really have that arm or that capability, at least that we haven't seen just yet. Good defense there by the Chiefs. Usually it's year 3, though, for quarterbacks that are looking for that number 1 guy. It's also like Lamar. I'm very critical of Lamar at times, right? But if Lamar gets a number 1 receiver, whether it's with Baltimore or if he goes to Miami and he's got 2, top guys and Waddle and Tyreek, then, the perception of Lamar will be better because as long as he can stay healthy, if he goes to Miami, people won't be talking about, well, he's never going to be as good as that MVP season. Lamar can never win a playoff game. And of course, you're still going to need O-line, good coaching, and you're going to need defense. And that's one thing that Lamar sometimes lacks. They don't have the number 1 receiver. They always have injuries. Running backs always get hurt. Defense doesn't live up to its name. It's one of those things. If you're a Raven fan, you absolutely don't want Lamar to go, but it could be a possibility. But if he does go to Miami, that could be a good spark for his career and also help Mike McDaniel. Because look, if he can make Tua, who most people thought was garbage, and turn him into statistically top 5, top 10 quarterback this year, even with the concussions, even with the Tua turn the ball over, tendencies, because sometimes, Tua will play great. And other times he's throwing like, pick sixes and like horrible throws. But again, it's the first year with Mike McDaniel, but it shows you O-line is important. Running game is important. Defense is important. And like I said, if you can make a guy that everyone gave up on kind of like decent, pretty good. I mean, if you get a guy that already has a skill set and then you just get the better coaching and supporting cast around, Miami could definitely make a run at Lamar. And that could, I'm not saying that they would be able to win the division with Lamar because I don't think they'd be able to beat Buffalo, but I think that would be able to improve them and they would obviously pass the Patriots, pass the Jets, and then they could be a team that could win, 10, 11 games. So.
Why am I this week, Joy, telling people that Geico has been offering savings for over 85 years? That's longer than the Buffalo Wings been around.
Dozen wings.
And did you know that Geico?
Yeah, well, most people didn't believe in Tua, but again, it shows you if you're smart, right? And you don't listen to the outside haters, you know how to make the best out of your QB. You know what I mean? So if you're making him do like, routes that he's not comfortable with, of course you're going to be a failure. But if you can work together and find plays that are going to suit the quarterback, suit the coach, and then the personnel, and you're not making them feel uncomfortable, just letting them play within the game, then you're going to end up getting good results besides the concussion shit that we saw with Tua. You know what I mean? And like I said, they've had a really crazy season where they were like undefeated and they would win like 3 or 4 games. Then they would lose 3 or 4 games. Then they would win 4 or 5 games. And then they lose 4 or 5 games in a row. Very odd. Usually it's like you'll win a few back and forth, win 1, lose 1, win a couple, lose a couple, win 1, lose 1, win 3, lose 1 or 2. It's not usually like win 4, lose 4, win 5, lose 5. But that's kind of been the story with Miami. But I know it'll get better moving forward. Chiefs versus the AFC West, 25-4. Is that good? Is that good? Kelsey? Short gain for Travis Kelsey. Well, the number one reason Lamar would want to go to Miami, obviously, the party scene, the visuals, Mike McDaniel, but the number one reason that Lamar would go, it's like he doesn't want to necessarily leave Mark Andrews, but now Mark Andrews being hurt and not being as effective, and him being hurt as well, maybe it would just be good for a fresh change. He's already been in Baltimore for quite a few years, wasn't able to win a playoff game. Maybe just a change of scenery would be good for him. And obviously you get to play with 2 of the best, brightest wide receivers in Waddle. Even though Waddle's considered a 2, he can be a 1 on a lot of different teams. Waddle definitely has a lot of talent there. And then you got Tyreek. So if you got Tyreek and Waddle and you had Lamar, I mean, you'd have the fastest, offense in the league by far. But it also depends if Lamar can actually stay healthy. That's the big thing now within the last couple of years. Can Lamar stay healthy? McDaniel, this is his first year. but he was an offensive coordinator for the Niners. So obviously it shows you how good the Niners are. They can lose big talent and still be great. Oh, incomplete. Justin Watson, the intended receiver. He had it, and then he dropped it. What happened to my hands? Good defense by the Raiders. And that's what you're looking for. You know, you're looking for the Kyle Shanahans. You're looking for the Sean McVays. And now you got McDaniel on the Dolphins and you got Kevin O'Connell on the Vikings. And look at Kevin O'Connell's winning all these games with no offensive line and no defense. You know, but until they get an O-line and a defense, you know, no one's going to really respect them. They're going to be like, okay, you can win the division, but what are you going to do in the playoffs? You know, what are you going to be able to do moving forward? Mahomes, good block. Jerick McKinnon with the nice block there. First down, Chiefs. I love that effort. He gave him the head nod. He said, hey, he head nodded. He said, over there. And he said, oh, he did one of these. He said, hey, get this guy right here. Nodded, right? Get that guy. And then boom, he got him. A hat and a hat. Nice play. Jerick McKinnon does everything. Love this kid. Plus, Mike McDaniel might actually be the funniest coach in the NFL, too. Guy's a guy that's really witty and bright, and he's very in tune for being a young coach. Ooh, McKinnon got spun around, fell down. But he's very in tune with, like, what the trends are for, like, the younger generation, the younger kids that are, 10 to 20 years old. Then he's got his wheelhouse with his age group. And then he's obviously got, a proper way to speak and how to deal with people that are older than him. You know what I mean? The OGs. People that are maybe 40 and up, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. But he's very in tune with everything that's going on. And that's a good thing as a coach. You need to be able to be relatable. And he definitely is a jokester. Funny ass guy. If you look at pressers, he's probably one of the funniest on the pressers, like press conference interviews prior to the game and after. He's always got something fucking funny to say. Rojo getting some yards. Who would have thought that? Fucking Rojo. Ronald Jones. He wasn't too bad. Decent at USC. Wasn't really a good fit at Tampa. But again, he might not be a fit here for Kansas City, but they need to be able to have three guys to rotate since Clyde has fallen back on the depth chart and obviously being hurt. 3rd and 2. Shotgun set. Mahomes. Oh, that's a ball that McKinnon normally catches. Pass was a little bit behind him. Pass incomplete. That wasn't his fault. Silent MVP of the Chiefs, and they should understand that, obviously the number one option for Patrick Mahomes, right? We already know the number one option is this, right? Is Travis Kelce. And normally, number 2 option is Juju. But who's the number 3 option for the team? Believe it or not, the number 3 option, right, is this guy, Jerick McKinnon. And if they give him the ball more often, you're going to end up getting more points and more success. Ooh, he ran into his own guy and didn't drop the ball. Nice job. Oh, look at that. Tommy Townsend. Yeah. Get it, Tommy. Nice job, Tommy. Stidham, hands off, short gain. I see the resemblance. Tommy Townsend, Conor McGregor. End of the 3rd quarter. Chiefs 24, Raiders 6.
Keeping my eyes on the road is paying off with driveways. Post about that.
and cheese.
No, thank you.
Unlock me.
Stop.
That was awesome.
Hey, once you're at, I'll tag you. Drive by from Ball State said 40% for avoiding mayhem.
104. Let's get to 2.
On the budget, 3 tasty options, fried drinking nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. Having your way.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, like 2 times miles on every purchase.
You're always canceling. You're being too loud. Thank you. Good choice. My lucky number.
Earn 5 times miles on flights,
Going up?
and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel. Plus, get access to over 1,300 airport lounges. And maybe see the one and only Taylor Swift. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
One special link.
Yeah, the offseason is going to be wild. Lots of movement. I mean, there's always movement every year, but like I said, the most exciting part of the offseason, besides the NFL draft, I think is going to be where all the running backs are going to drop. Because like I said, there's about 12 or 13 quality backs, and depending on who gets a quality back, I mean, that could be the difference from a team being like a good team turning into an elite team, depending on if that running back decides to leave and go to maybe a better team or a better contender or a better fit. There's guys like Jacob, Saquon. Some guys might return to their teams, but other guys, they may say, fuck it, let's go somewhere else and see if I can get valued and get paid a little more. It's going to be exciting. NFL draft should be pretty good too. Lots of good talent. And Bengals got ripped off there. I mean, the Chiefs were already going to be the first seed, but I definitely think that the Bengals would have won that game. And then obviously, they would have won that. And then eventually, so 14-3 for the Chiefs. But I think that the Bengals would have been able to have the number 2 record if they would have been able to complete that Buffalo game. And then I think they would have been able to beat the Ravens. So I think Buffalo would have been the 3rd seed, Cincinnati the 2. But now everything gets kind of fucked with the whole situation with not making up that game and whatnot. So, but Cincinnati can still end up making the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship game. They're good enough. A little check down. Ooh. Nick Bolton with the tackle. I didn't know if I was going to be able to use that graphic today, but there it is. All right, 24-6. We're in the 4th quarter. Let's see if the Raiders going to get at least 1 touchdown for pride. Might not happen, but we'll see. Obviously, they're in horrible field position right now. Stidham. Tipped. And complete. Good defense by the Chiefs.
Just look at how they just get so much points and they're so long, 6'5", 6'6", long reach. And even when you don't get home, it makes it so difficult to throw the football against this football team with the way this pass rush is playing. Man, as this young secondary continues to develop,
Raiders with the punt.
this defense is just hitting its stride. Second straight 3 and out.
Yeah, but let's not get too carried away, announce team, that you're like the B or C or D announce team. Oh, they're hitting their stride. Well, you're playing against fucking Jarrett Stidham and a shitty-ass Raider team. I mean, let's not get too carried away like the secondary just turned into a bunch of fucking Deion Sanders and Troy Polamalu's out there. They got a long ways to go, especially if you're going to be playing against Josh Allen and Burrow. You know what I mean? Let me see you play great against that top-tier caliber, making picks and big plays. Then we can start talking like that. But, I mean, when you're doing it against the Raiders, that's what you're supposed to fucking do. You know, the Raiders aren't a good team. You're supposed to be able to dominate them. But hopefully they can slowly but surely get better. And I think they will.
Here, aspirin arthritis. Expression strength reduces inflammation. Thank the gods. Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the aspirin cream. Icy Hot Pro. Ice works fast. Freeze your pain and you don't. Heat makes it last, so you never sit this one out. AC Hot Pro, 2 backstrap paper. Every search you make, every click you take, I'll be watching.
Horrible commercial.
Have to be so creepy. The DuckDuckGo
No one cares a shit about DuckDuckGo and your stupid parody commercial.
all for free. Your search
John in the building. What to do?
so it can't be shared. And when you leave search,
This commercial fucking annoys the hell out of me, but the Burger King ones are the fucking worst, man. I almost have to change a channel when the Burger King ones come on. You know, obviously they got the little catchy theme and I get it and people remember that, but it's like, I don't want to see the fucking Burger King commercial 8 times in like a 2-hour period. It's like a little much. I get that, you know, you have money and you're trying to brainwash people to buy your product. And the more money that you spend, the more brainwashing you can do on as many networks as you want. And then when people start seeing the burgers from Burger King, maybe you don't really want Burger King, but then you get, you know, to a point where they keep shoving it in your face with the Burger King shit. And then maybe eventually you go there, you know, that's the whole idea, to brainwash you. But goddamn, I mean, some commercials, they just need to, I mean, and then just because they have 5 different songs with the Burger King commercial doesn't mean it's good. I can only handle commercials so much before I start losing my mind. All right, we got Titans and Jags coming up. I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to prep, but as soon as the game is over, I'll prep immediately, and then we'll be right back. I don't know when this game will end. We got 14 minutes, so I'll prep, and then I assume that we'll have just a little bit of time in between, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then we'll be right back at it for another stream. A bad teeth commercial. Kelsey, first down, Chiefs. Dan Orlovsky does not have a good football voice. He sounds like he is supposed to be working at a supermarket or something. Your voice is way too soft. I don't know. You don't even sound like a therapist. You sound like a bag boy. 24-6 Chiefs. Asking me if I want plastic or paper. Fuck out of here, Dan. Pacheco, short gain. Second down and 2. (24-6) Kansas City. Shotgun set. Patrick Mahomes. Good protection up front. Going down to his check down. MVS with the catch. First down, Chiefs. But we got a flag on the play. That might be holding. Ooh, illegal contact. Penalties decline. First down, Chiefs. For real, I feel that I could get, you know, I mean, not just me. There's other people on YouTube and Twitch that are talented, but I honestly feel that if they had a ESPN de Ocho, like how they put Peyton Manning on ESPN 3 or 2 or 4, you know, on ESPN News, they have that alternate broadcast. I honestly feel nice run by Pacheco. Nice job. First down, Chiefs. You know, you got to be interesting. You got to have a good voice. You got to know certain things. You got to have the stats, the analytics. It's not just necessarily what you look like anymore. You know, is the person attractive? Do they have a good look? You know, a lot of times it's like, what do you sound like, you know, on the mic? You know, are you knowledgeable? Do you know anything? Are you fucking stupid? You know, these NFL guys are just fucking so cringy. Not very many good qualified people. I mean, if it's not Jim Nantz or Romo, it's really hard for me to get excited. Or Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt, you know, Summerall and Madden, you know, certain, you know, guys like that, but it's far and few between from the greats and then everyone else. Floater incomplete. Throwing towards Big 9-9. Saunders, 6'3", 324, big boy. That would have been awesome if he would have got a tutty. And obviously Andy Reid and Bieniemy are going to be looking at people like that. Mahomes, Kelsey, short of the touchdown marker. I mean, I wish I was, able to enjoy more people calling NFL games. Play-by-play is one of the hardest things to do. Color is a little bit easier, but you have to be dedicated, and you have to actually have some passion for the game. And not a lot of the guys in color, I think, really have it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Pacheco. Nice job. Extra point is up. And it's good. 31-6. Chiefs. $11:03. Now, obviously the Raiders hopefully won't go away from Josh Jacobs, but at this point, you need points, but I mean, you're not going to come back and win this game. So hopefully they still bleed the clock, give Jacobs some time to get some more yards, and then they'll make their throws. But again, it's Jarrett Stidham. So, I mean, if you had Carr, you'd probably have more than 6 points right now. But if you're trying to tank and lose for sure, then you have Stidham in the game, and that's what they did.
With my price rewards, it's easy to get lower than low prices. Win.
Yeah. But even, not necessarily doing the whole, like ESPN thing. I just want to be able to, give myself an opportunity to be seen on YouTube by more fans, because a lot of times when people go to a channel, they'll stay there. But there's also other channels that are really good, but people just don't know about. You know what I mean? I just want to be able to get my face and my voice out there, so that way, if you still want to have another channel as your favorite, as your primary, that's fine, but always consider, me or someone else, when maybe that person is busy or they got something else going on. I mean, it doesn't have to be just one channel, I just need to hope that 2023 will put me in an opportunity to get seen, and have 100 people in the room, multiple times. Because a lot of times if we have 100 people in the room, I can gain 20, 30, 40 subs out of that 1 or 2 hour period. And I could get more people subbing to the channel in a 2 hour period than in 2 months if they don't do it at all for me. So, I mean, it really is that important, to be able to get in front of people. And if you don't, it's really hard to be able to get any movement. Haters gonna hate.
With the Fred Meyer app, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you get in our stores. So start your cart today.
Your dogs got loose, Mike?
Fred Meyer.
Hopefully things are good now.
Season rests while the right arm of Josh Dobbs making his second career NFL start tonight.
Would have been much better if it was anybody but Josh Dobbs, Malik, Tannehill, somebody.
Here it's 31-6. There's a whole lot of red in the good. There's always visiting colors here.
All right. Bucker kicking off 31-6. Raiders with the kneel down. Yeah, and even if it's Dobbs at QB, they're going to fight. You know what I mean? Like I said, if it's a chance to win, obviously the AFC South, I mean, the Jags obviously already beat the Titans earlier in the year, and they're the better team at this point too, especially if Tannehill isn't QBing. But if Tannehill is healthy and he's there, right, then you could argue that it could go either way. And the game still could go either way, but I would assume the Jags will find enough with Trevor to win this game. Plus, honestly, besides, Jamison Meza, Titan up 22, and a few of the Titan fans that we have as regulars, besides them, I think a majority of the globe wants the Jags to win. They're just the better team. They're more interesting. They're more healthy, right? And if the Titans make the playoffs, are they going to beat anybody? Hell no. But if the Jags go, there's a shot that they could maybe upset someone, based on, what the timeline looks like and who they match up against. The Titans don't have a shot to beat anyone, but the Jags could win a playoff game, in my opinion. I mean, they're more than likely they would lose, but I mean, if there was a choice between, A or B, obviously the Jags are the better team, which is crazy to say because they were the worst team in football the last 2 years, but they've really turned it around with Dougie P. Stidham. Mac Hollins with the catch. First time we've heard his name. Raider fan left the bar. Well, 31-6. I would assume so. Typical. Just leaving before the game is over. Can't handle it. I remember I would go to games. Like I said, I was at that Eagle bar right down the road. And I remember one specific game where it was like I was playing the Giants. And this was, maybe 10 years ago. And I was only the Buck fan in this place. And I would dress up and they would always let me have audio and let me have my own TV at the bar. And I remember I was watching the Giants and Tampa in the bar and I was losing like 49-0. And I stayed for the whole game and they were like, what the fuck are you doing here? But sometimes it's just, you have to find the bright spots even when you're getting your ass kicked. You got to, sometimes it's tough, to stick it out to the very, very end. But that memory will always be ingrained in my mind. It was like 49-0. It was when Eli was there, I believe, early in Eli's career. And just getting fucking rocked. But it hasn't always been peaches and cream for me, especially with my sports teams. I mean, most of the time I have one good team out of my 4 teams every year. Stidham, Renfro, first down, Raiders. Move the chains. First down and 10. Let's see if they can get a pity touchdown. At this point, they need at least one to make themselves feel like halfway decent, especially when you got Renfro, Waller, Devontae Adams, and Jacobs. You're telling me you can't get in the end zone fucking once, and you're at home, one time. And it's not like the Chiefs defense is elite. I mean, they have some holes, you know what I mean? But again, Stidham at quarterback compared to Carr, it's a huge downgrade. Josh in the building. How are you? I'm grinding, man. How's the weather for you out there in Utah? Nice dono from our buddy Josh. $10 dono. Thank you, man. Very generous of you. Appreciate you, man. Bang, bang. Josh is one of our newbies on the channel, and I appreciate you tremendously, man. How are you? Anything specific, Josh, that you want to see? You got a Utah Utes specific player that you want me to throw up? I know you love Utah. Anybody specific you want to put up for your favorite team, favorite players? Let me know what you want, and I got you. He said, no, it's still bad. I imagine. I respect the hell out of you, man. That work that you do and that weather. There we go. Garbage touchdown. On the way, Devontae Adams with the catch. Appreciate you, Josh. Jarrett Stidham going to Devontae Adams. I am very interested to see. I know he'll never speak to the media about it, but once Carr leaves, what does that mean for Devontae? He can't be happy. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, if we're going to suck, at least I got one of my best friends there. If we're good, I got my best friend there. Now they're pushing your best friend out. And what are you going to do? He's not going to be happy. I mean, at that point, if he knew that this was going to happen after 1 year, maybe he doesn't even come here. You know what I mean? Maybe he just stays in Green Bay or goes to another team, But you live and you learn, I guess, huh? Steve Smith, good choice. I would take Jacobs on Tampa. I mean, I think Jacobs is solid. You know, like I said, a lot of people gave up on him. And I never give up on him. Like, even though this was a contract year and they didn't want to extend him, that's more of a Raiders internal thing rather than the player thing. I mean, think about it. If you had Hunter Renfrow on your favorite team, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, even Carr, depending on your situation, you know what I mean? Like, there's good players. It's just the O-line stinks and the defense stinks. I mean, it's hard to win games when you don't have those two things. Stidham, Waller. I think they signaled a touchdown, but I think his feet were out. They're really trying to give him that garbage touchdown, but I don't think his feet were down. Let's look again. One. Where's the other foot? He's out of bounds. Unless that other foot tipped in. Let's look at this angle. All right, let's look. First foot down. What about the heel? He's out. He's out. And the ref is staring right down at the foot and still called that a touchdown. That shows you they're just really trying to get him that garbage TD. I mean, great effort and all. Third down and 10. Do they have the balls to go back to him again, or are you going to go to Devontae? Nope. Renfrow. Touchdown, Raiders. Garbage TD in effect. Boom. Bang. Boom. Raiders. All right, Renfrow. Show them your value. Knew to get at least one garbage TD today. God, this is like one of the worst announce crews ever. Orlovsky. These guys are bad. God damn. Extra point is up for Carlson, and it's good. 31-13. Cheers. All right, let's try to throw up some photos here. Try to find his couple Steve Smiths from the Ravens, couple Steve Smiths from the Panthers. Fiery player, great player, underrated player. I mean, I should know. I mean, those battles that Tampa and the Panthers used to have back in the day. Muhsin Muhammad, Steve Smith. They've had some good players from their time period. Jake Delhomme. Back in the day, Tim Biakabatuka. Yeah, D'Angelo Williams. They had a nice little combo at running back. Former Oregon Duck as well.
Fastest growing brands of coolant in America. We work hard to earn the trust of people like you every day.
When it's go time, I don't let constipation stop me.
New great tasting Dulcolax Chewy Fruit Bites work naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes. So you can go fast, go gently, and go on with life. New Dulcolax Chewy Fruit Bites put you comfortably in control.
I'm not slowing down anytime soon. That's why I take Osteo Biflex every day. It's clinically shown to improve joint comfort in 7 days and continues to improve over time. Kinda like us. Osteo Biflex, because I'm made to move.
Garbage TD. KC 31, Vegas Raiders 13. Devontae Adams 11-yard passing TD from Jarrett Stidham. No good. No good. No good. Hunter Renfrow, baby. I agree. There's a lot of people that suck on ESPN, Fox Sports. I mean, like I said, I feel like a lot of these people, they lost what's important, having a connection, with the fans. But when you're on TV and podcasts, that's why they never have that type of fandom. You know what I mean? Because people can't relate to you. You don't have any type of way to relate to, fans, hardcore or average or, bandwagon. You have to be able to find a way to make things a little bit more fun and interesting. And like I said, there's so many people that are overqualified or underqualified for that matter on TV. And just because if the requirement is, oh, you played in the league, okay, you can be on the mic. Well, that's what you get in return. You get a bunch of garbage people that, that aren't fun to watch or listen to at all. It's like wrestling, you got to be able to have good announcers to be able to enjoy wrestling. Like the crowd is as a part of it, but the announcers are a big part of sports. And when you have shitty announcers, it doesn't get you into the game as much. There's a reason why like Madden and Summerall were so good. Jim Nantz and Tony Romo are so good. Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson are so good. And there's just everyone else. Yeah, I totally agree. Oh, no worries, Mike. You're good. I haven't even watched ESPN. No lie. I haven't watched SportsCenter in like 15, 20 years. I refuse. I mean, like they think that they're still like the top, like in the industry. They really aren't. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like CBS is that much better, but obviously Fox Sports, I feel Fox is better than what ESPN is bringing out. But even with Fox Sports, they still have some holes, in their network as well. And you got NFL Network, but NFL Network even isn't as good as it was, with all the movement they've had on different personnel changes on their shows. I haven't watched Good Morning Football once this season, and I might not ever watch that show ever again. I mean, I do miss the Angry Run segment, but based off what Traeger did to me and, no Nate, no Kay, why am I going to watch? It's unfortunate, but I'm not going to sit through shitty TV. I'm just not going to do it. Carr is a Chiefs fan tonight. I forgot what Carr looks like. Let's throw up a photo of him. I mean, it's been so long since we've been able to even see what he looks like since he got benched. But yeah, what a shitty thing for McDaniels to do, to like make it look like it's Carr's fault. You know what I mean? Even if you're trying to tank, instead of like taking the responsibility that you suck, as a head coach and a play caller. But again, you are limited. You don't have an O-line and you don't have a defense. But still, I thought that was not classy at all. Typical Josh McDaniels move. I'll still give Carr a little love. Not your fault, bud. Not your fault.
You deserve some credit. Get started at chime.com.
So is this stuff really fresh?
Yes. I mean, yeah, we don't have freezers. It's definitely real food. We always have fresh stuff coming in. I mean, this is the best box that you can get.
Fresh is what you stand for.
Definitely.
Oh, baby.
What did you expect? Did you think you could relax? Or had you convinced yourself some records were forever?
Yeah, I did end up watching Rampage. Didn't end up going to the event here at Memorial Coliseum. But that first match with Bryan Danielson and Moxley going against Top Flight. Wow. You can see Top Flight is kind of like the Acclaimed. You can tell like Top Flight with with Dante and his bro, like they're going to get the belts at some point. They are super athletic and fun to watch. They're just not, they don't have belts to like take them to the next level for popularity. But Bryan Danielson and Moxley, Jesus, with the Blackpool Combat Club, so aggressive, so many kicks, so many chops. That was one of the best tag team matches I've seen in a little while. But as I was watching, the program, it wasn't going to be worth the money, to pay to see one good match. They had, some matches, you know what I mean? But I mean, the Hater and the Dr. Britt Baker, it wasn't really that great. They had one really, really good opening match, but it wasn't going to be worth me spending $300, $400, $500 to get a good seat. Even though I love AEW, if I'm going to pay, I'm going to pay for a pay-per-view, or if I'm going to pay for Dynamite, not a Rampage. Not a Rampage and just like a AEW Dark, because they do like 2 hours. It wouldn't have been worth it. I mean, now if Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks were wrestling, then maybe I would have gone. But if I'm not going to get my favorites wrestling, if I can't see Moxley and Bryan Danielson, Jericho, if I'm not getting Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, I'm probably not going to buy the ticket. I need to see, if I'm going to pay for AEW, and I need to see Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Mahomes? Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum.
This is a 5-man front. We have to call this 5-0. You see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody's matched up man to man. And then you've got 5 offensive linemen.
Well, yeah, that I think everyone, I mean, if you watch shows, Josh, that's the only good show to watch, regardless if they have D-Bud or AJ or, if they have Aaron Rodgers on Tuesdays. That show is really the only show I watch because they're real. I try to be genuine and real, not be biased. And that's what people want to see. People want to see people that are real, that, that are comfortable in their own skin. I'm kind of like Pat, too. We have the same birthday, me, him, and The Rock. I don't know what it is about, being a May 2nd baby, but, all of us, we're good talkers, and it's just about being genuine and real and putting out a good product. I'm like Pat, too. I don't like fucking wearing pants. I like wearing shorts. I like being comfortable, but that's the only good show out of all the NFL shows, in my opinion. Some people like Skip and Shannon. I can't do it. There's all these other shows that are on ESPN. Can't watch any of those. I used to like Good Morning Football. Can't watch that. I mean, if Colleen Wolfe is on talking about pregame and postgame, I can watch her. But there's not really a lot that I can watch anymore besides the Pat McAfee show. And I'll watch a little bit of The Herd when it was The Herd with Colin and Joy, and then they replaced her. But I even don't watch The Herd that much either. Like once a week, maybe a little bit. And I won't watch the whole 3 hours. I'll just watch a little bit. But normally it's Pat, and that's about it. And then I just do my own research and my own analysis because I just can't sit through a lot of garbage TV. It's one thing like NFL Network has got the rights to the highlights, but they don't have the right people like calling the highlights on, Good Morning Football. You know what I mean? It's like the new crew sucks compared to the old crew. It's not even the same. Ratings are extremely down, whether they want to admit it or not, on ESPN, Fox Sports, and on NFL Network. So. Yeah, but I don't know what it is about being a May 2nd baby, but I mean, The Rock is my brother, 10 years older. Pat's got the same birthday. I'm not as successful as them yet, but I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to grind, 11 years in. I mean, I don't know how many years I got to do this shit before I break through, maybe 15 years, maybe 20 years. I don't know. I'm not quitting though. I'll have my day. Stidham with the fumble. Pick it up. Chiefs players are standing around. Devontae Adams saving the day. He said, I don't get paid enough for this shit. 31-13, Chiefs. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you want to watch someone that's biased or people that scream and yell, I mean, that's pretty much what you have available now. You get people that scream and yell. I mean, if you like Stephen A. and Emmanuel Acho, then, I mean, you know what you're getting right there, Or if you just want people to argue about fake stuff like Skip and Shannon, even though I really like Shannon, not really a big fan of Skip, but it's just really fake to me. This is fake TV, what I mean? Fake topics, fake conversations, fake arguments, you know what I mean? Just to see people be fake and argue. I mean, I could think of like a billion things I'd rather do with my day than watch a bunch of fake. I mean, where are the intelligent people so we can actually learn things? Stats, analytics, people that have good voices, people that are interesting, people that have a connection with the fans. I mean, that's why people, gain ground on YouTube and Twitch, because people are fed up with the bullshit that's on TV, because a lot of the people on TV are fucking horrible. They're not good. And even though they think they're good, they're not. I mean, think about it. If a lot of these guys ended up doing like a live play-by-play and reactions on a YouTube channel, you think people would like watch those guys? Like if you got these guys that are in the booth right now and they did a show on YouTube, anyone watching that? Fuck no. Like, why would you watch them? I hope that they improve, on that. But again, it shows you how hard it is to find people that are great on the mic. And even people like on WWE, they started, they started finding talent, even with the Paul Bros, and, they're finding people that, are on social media that have a good presence. Pat McAfee, there's a reason why, WWE is invested in those guys, because they're trying to get that fan base, Pat McAfee fan base and the Paul brother fan base, to actually watch WWE and gain them more fans. So it's more than just, for money. It's for ratings. They know what they're doing. They're trying to maximize the people to watch their brand and their show. And even if you hate the Paul Bros, or if you're not as big of a fan of Pat, I mean, the one thing that's very clear, a lot of these guys, whether you love them and hate them on podcast or YouTube, they're very talented on the microphone. They know how to handle the mic. It's like wrestlers. Some guys are great wrestlers, but they're horrible on the mic. And if you're horrible on the mic, you're probably not going to be that big of a star. Well, the thing is that I'm only able to be here in the studio, after usually 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, because my girlfriend works from home and does the Verizon thing. So she's in here from 7 to 4. So usually when I'm able to record, I try to record almost every day, but I won't be able to really record until, usually 5 p.m. would be the earliest. And usually at that point we have a game going on or something going on. But, like I said, I don't have the opportunity to do a show like in the morning. And plus also I have to be smart about it because, obviously this is my full-time job, right? So if I end up doing stuff, in the morning, and let's say I grind it out for 2 or 3 hours and then I get $2 in donos, that's not worth my time. You know what I mean? Like I have to do this and think of this as my own business, because it is. I'm my own CEO. I mean, I've been doing this for 11 years. This is my 7th year on YouTube, but it took me 10 years of fucking grinding to be able to have enough support to be able to go full time. So I'm not going to, necessarily do something where it's not going to be able to help me pay my rent, pay my bills. Like, of course, I'm always willing to do, different types of things to be able to get more fans, NASCAR, MLB, college hoops for March Madness, NBA, WWE, AEW, but I have to be smart with what I'm doing. Oh, almost intercepted. It's like, it's like if I ever started doing like reaction videos, yeah, I know I would be over 20,000 subs and I would have more views and probably more subs, on those type of videos, because you can watch and upload whenever the hell you want, but there's zero money there. You know what I mean? And I've already been grinding on this. So like I said, if I was rich, yeah, I could go that route. But if I need to be able to pay my rent and pay my bills, reaction videos ain't going to do that. Even if you get 50,000 views, on a reaction video, 100,000 views. I mean, if you watch some of the old videos that I did in the first couple of years, you would think that we were getting some good money back then. We weren't getting shit. You know what I mean? Nothing. They just eat off of you. You know what I mean? So you get subs and you get views, but you get no money. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a Chris Jones sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Nice job. I mean, everything has to be a strategic move for me. You know what I mean? Like I said, if I ever get to the point where, rent is not an issue and bills are not an issue, of course I can, take a step away from maybe doing a live stream to get, donos, to do like an uploadable content like that. But also, I have to be able to survive. I have to take care of the fam. I got to take care of myself, take care of my puppy. Got to make sure everything gets taken care of. Then I got to give back to the fans. So it's like, yeah, why don't you do reaction videos? Well, yeah, I could do that, but then I'm going to be homeless living on the street because I'm not going to be able to pay my rent doing reaction videos. So plus reaction videos are old. That's like 2017 shit. You know what I mean? Like I love doing reaction video, like commentary. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I love doing it, but it just has to make sense for me. Rojo, almost a first down. And obviously, if I ever get to a point where I can do something, in the morning, I could do that as well. But based off the timeline and the schedule, I can't be in the same room, especially if someone's taking phone calls. I can't be all loud in here. Can't have 2 people here in the studio, only one. So. And plus, anytime I end up doing a show in the evening anyways, I mean, it can be formatted like anyone that does a show in the morning, It just depends on if I end up having people on the show with me, just to have an additional face on here. Like if I end up having Sarah on here or someone else, Birdman, you know what I mean? We can usually have a guest here and there or have other people participate in the stream. I mean, until I get to the point where I feel like I'm getting backed by the tube and I'm getting more exposure, then that'll lead to not worrying so much about making sure that I can survive at the end of the month, you know. But I was at least able to go one full year, you know what I mean? And like I said, it took me such a long time to get to this point, and we still got a long ways to go. I mean, I'm 11 years in, and I feel like I'm only 1% into my journey, as crazy as that sounds. I have a long ways to go. First down and 10, shotgun set. Hand off to Rojo. Short gain. Yeah, you better pray it's not fucking Saudi Arabia. You know, just like they did with the live and the golf tournament shit that they did where they had some of the Saudi billionaires, you know, trying to be able to figure out how they can get their money. I'm not sure if Vince is stupid enough to go that route, but second down and 9. Who knows what direction if he ended up selling it overseas, you know, some billionaire Saudi Arabian prince, like what would happen to WWE if that happened? I mean, Vince wouldn't care. He'd be rich as fuck, and he already is rich as fuck, right? But what about the fans and like the direction? You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? Does that mean Triple H and Stephanie are no longer involved? And it turns into something like chaotic? Like, then AEW will get all the fans because some people aren't going to keep up with WWE depending on what they do move-wise. So, I mean, it really depends on the future. But I also heard with Vince, you know, if he doesn't get his way, he said he'll just make the fucking company bankrupt. So, I mean, he's trying to hold kind of things hostage. You know, he wants to be able to be involved, you know, because obviously it's his baby with his dad and whatnot. So, I don't know. WWE is in kind of a weird time period. Things got so much better with Triple H and Stephanie, too. I'm not really sure if this is the time to sell. But I guess if that's what they want to do, that's what they're going to do. So now if they end up selling it to like a Disney and a majority of it is handled here in the United States, I think that would be okay, depending on the direction. But again, who's going to be involved? Are we still going to have Triple H and Stephanie involved, or are they going to be replaced once they get bought out, you know, by Disney if that happens? So. Yeah, Vince ruined WWE for about 2 years, 3 years. And things are like finally good again. Like I said, I went like 2 years without watching Raw and SmackDown and NXT like on a regular basis. And finally, it's nice to be back to be able to watch both companies. Because I don't like just watching one. I mean, I'm a fan. So, you know, AEW, WWE, NJPW, ROH. And speaking of NJPW, we missed out unless you ordered it. Obviously, Sasha Banks, aka Sasha Monet Money. All right, obviously with this in the NJPW scene, but we had one of the best matches, 5-star, 6-star match with Kenny Omega and you know who, Sarah, Will Ospreay. And I feel that, you know, those two are two of the top 5 that are in wrestling right now. Obviously, we did a top 5 list on who we like the best. We both are big Bryan Danielson guys as well, and those two are definitely in the top 5. And then it's kind of debatable. Kenny's obviously in the top 5 as well. I think you had Okada. I probably would, you know, go MJF just based off Mike's skills, you know, and what he's being able to bring. But I mean, and I obviously love the Young Bucks, and there's a lot of other talent, but I just feel that you see a little bit more uniqueness and double team moves, and you see a little bit more ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, and WCW in AEW, and that's why I like it more, because I always liked ECW and WCW better than WWF. I love the WWF, but at some point, things were just so basic. Punch, kick, leg drop, DDT, pin, and it was over. I don't know. It just, you know, I want to be able to be entertained when I'm watching wrestling. You know what I mean? I don't want to see the same shit over and over and over again. And I feel like WCW made, you know, some big changes, and they ended up getting a lot of those Hall of Fame guys in the 90s. And that's why I like the NWO, right? I'm always going to be NWO over DX. Nice gain by Rojo. And then I love ECW's hardcore style. That was the most entertaining wrestling. I mean, you could argue RVD in his prime was maybe arguably the best wrestler at that time period. You had Rock, you had Stone Cold, you had guys that were very good on the mic and in the ring. But when you watched RVD and Sabu back then in the 90s, in their prime, it was some of the most entertaining wrestling I've ever seen, because I saw shit that I'd never seen before. RVD was doing Van Daminators, Van Terminators. You know, he was doing shit that I'd never seen before and really opened my eyes to a new thing of wrestling. That's facts. I mean, RVD was so good in his peak. 31-13. There's kneeling it, calling it a day. Well, the next game starts pretty soon, so maybe that's good. Nice job by the Kansas City Chiefs. And then as soon as this is over, I'm just going to immediately start prepping. I might not be able to get as many photos prepped just because I'm not going to have as much time, but I'll definitely get enough of what I can do. So Air Whitey says, what's up? No surprise. Clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs with a first-round bye with not a 100% offensive line and obviously a shaky secondary at times. But when you're so good here and you're so good here and you're really, really good here, you can hide some of those weaknesses, but it's nice to be able to see guys like Chris Jones step up, and you're also getting a little bit of movement from guys like George Karlaftis, which is nice. Final score, Chiefs 31, Raiders 13. So let me just update this with a final and the ticker. Chiefs win. And now I got to get to work because I got another stream to do. And that's what we do here. We grind it out. Shout out to Sarah, Will the Thrill, and especially Cyberpunk. If it wasn't for Cyberpunk, this would have been a horrible stream. So thank you so much for able to get us to a good number. And like I said, you know, the grind is never going to stop. And also Josh with his big $10 dono, that definitely helped extend us here. And then I'll be back. You know, we'll grind it out here in just a few minutes. So give me some time. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Final score, Chiefs 31, Raiders 13. And now I got to get situated here, delete this, scroll this down, and then that'll be the Twitter there for that. All right, guys, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I'll be back live in probably 30 minutes, and we'll be back for, obviously, the Jags and the Titans to see who's going to end up winning the AFC South. So I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.